Alrighty. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to ReGen D&D, where a bunch of us nerdy-ass ReGen alums sit around and play Dungeons & Dragons.
It's terrible.
Fair.
Accurate.
Come on, I thought at least Grendel would laugh at that. Well,
It's terrible.
It's because his face is currently in the palm of his hand and he's shaking his head.
okay, that's fair. I earned that.
There's also no button to press for laughs, so you know.
We don't have a built-in laugh track.
But there should be.
There's no canned LOL, but not really.
We need to get like a 1980s laugh track where everyone's just like ha 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 ha.
Tonight we kick off our second ReGen D&D campaign as we take our first steps into the very well-established world of Warcraft games. Azeroth, of course, a world that does indeed contain both Dungeons and Dragons, but also a lot more. But before we jump in, I do want to take a moment to thank the group of Warcraft fans that made the incredible Warcraft Heroes Handbook that we'll be using for this short campaign. And also all the people that work on the lore books, particularly Christy Golden, who wrote not the Fall of Theramore book, but the book that we'll be basing the campaign around, which is it's Tides of War. And without both these resources, definitely couldn't have put this together. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then one quick piece of housekeeping business. We are going to be using the variant rule for hero points. It's something that's included in the book. I think it's like page 143. It's somewhere near the end of the book. But basically, it's an alternative to inspiration points. So you guys can get hero points and use them for a bunch of different things. It's kind of cool that way because it's a lot more versatile than inspiration. Like one of them is Survivor, so if you ever fail a death saving throw, you can just instantly use your hero points to go to 0 health and make you stable. But at the DM's discretion, if you use that hero point for Survivor, I can give you a scar befitting the circumstances as a reminder that hero points will not always be there to save you. But anyway, without further ado, let's jump on into the Fall of Theramore. So we start our story before we start the story, we'll jump back into a period of Azeroth shortly after the Cataclysm. After the sundering of this world from the corrupted Earth Warder, the 4 other Dragonflights, along with one very special orc, were able to come together to defeat Deathwing once and for all. And now it would seem the world has entered a tenuous peace as the citizens of Azeroth piece together their broken world and attempt to adjust to the recent changes. While no one can discount the former Warchief Thrall's necessity to leave his position to fill the role of Earth Warder, many among the Horde and the Alliance have deep concerns over his replacement. The legendary war hero Garrosh Hellscream has assumed the mantle of Warchief after what was supposed to be a temporary leave of absence from Thrall has now become permanent. While the mortal factions of the Horde and Alliance never truly cease their conflict, the war between them has grown cold and inactive. Territorial lines have been drawn, and only small occasional incursions occur between the major races on Azeroth. But our story begins in Durotar, homeland of the Orcs. The newly reconstructed Iron Gates of Orgrimmar creak open as heavily muscled orcs strain to shove the wheels and pull the massive doors open. The gates do eventually open, just far enough for a small troop of 6 female adventurers to emerge before the creaking doors close back after they exit the gate. The leader of this group, a hulking female orc, Oz. If you would please describe your character.
I thought we settled on Oz, but
Sure, we'll go with Oz. I'm gonna go back and forth. I do
Totally.
believe.
I probably will as well. Oz is a orc warrior who is, I don't even know the right word, contemplative, and quiet, and her combat style is one of strength and focus rather than anger and screaming. And she takes her craft seriously and has no sense of humor whatsoever.
All right, and alongside her, and a friendship that seems to beat the odds of racial disparity, you see a slim, dark-toned blood elf with her faithful feline companion by her side. Amane, if you would please describe your character.
Amane is kind of a quiet elf who really kind of just bucks the system and doesn't like to go along with the plan, if that makes sense.
All right, and behind them you see a large pair of longtime friends, two Tauren, as different as two female Taurens could be in terms of gear and general experience. But Tala and Tallulah, if you would please describe your characters.
Sure. I guess I'll go first. Tallulah is a very clumsy, very out of place druid. She's very polite, very kind of. She's really polite. She's really nice, but she's very clumsy. She doesn't super fit in well, but she's just kind of trying her best to make sure everybody's okay, everybody's safe, and that everybody's not going to get hurt on their little adventure here.
And Tala is a Tauren paladin who's come to be a paladin because of strong family convictions, and she showed a lot of prowess at a young age for martial weapons and became very strong as a warrior. And just has a great conviction for the light and is a strong Tauren believer.
All right, and last, and certainly least in terms of flesh and blood, their Forsaken companion, Rollin. This should be an interesting one. Go ahead, Grendel.
Rollin is loud and boisterous and would much rather blow a door down than try to sneak in to anything. Highly opinionated and often finds people to need to loosen up and will kind of make fun of them if they don't, probably. Definitely the black sheep of the group.
All right.
It's gonna be fun.
And also you have with you a young blood elf woman that you employ by the name of Avina Sunsong. She is not a fighter, but has an incredible memory and provides entertainment by recounting your epic adventures and to the pleasant strumming of her lute. But yeah, she's basically very quiet and probably won't interact much other than just that constant background music you all like so much. You all arrive after leaving the gates of Orgrimmar at a fork in the road. One path leading to the east, which is your eventual destination, as you've packed and prepared yourselves for a seafaring mission. The other road leads to the south to Razor Hill. There's a small village housing a couple Horde military buildings and a small inn. You've been told that the ships will leave today in a few hours. You can either go right up the road to the docks and have some extra time to converse with the other crews and get a sense of who else might be on your mission, or you figure as long as you don't linger too long, you should have time to make your way south to Razor Hill and still get back in time. What would you guys like to do?
What's the Razor Hill?
So there's just a couple of military outfits there. You figure that there's going to be some people probably coming from Razor Hill up to join you on the seafaring mission. But there's also a small inn there that you can get drinks or kind of hang out and enjoy the last couple hours before you leave on this what should be at least a 2-week a 1 to 2 week mission on the high seas.
Rollin turns east and says, "I'm going for the docks."
Alrighty.
Oh, Rollin, careful! I don't know if we're all going yet. Are we going yet?
Rollin waves like, "Already leaving."
Oh no! And I just kind of look back at the group and then just kind of run after it. I'm like, wait, Rollin, wait!
And I just, as my friend goes jogging away, Paula just puts her hand in her head and is just like, "This is going to be a long journey." already annoyed by the Forsaken.
What is the little elven bard's name who's with us again?
That would be Avina Sunsong.
Oz will silently turn and follow to the east and say, Avina, let's get some walking music. Play us the tale of Kravtush the Destroyer on the way. And we'll follow along.
Did you say Crabtush?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds about right. Alright, so you guys do head out east. Overall, Duratar is a very desert-style landscape. You know, a lot of big rocks, a lot of just kind of dusty land. You do pass a couple of things. There is a large pig farm that they have that's just a little ways out from the gates, where they use for a lot of the meats that are supplied for the city. But eventually you make your way out to the docks, and you can see there are 3 large horde ships. You are directed to yours, which is the Iron Reaper, and you see a few of the different groups as they come in. You've just got kind of a generic group of orcs that have been hired to protect one of the ships, and then the main flagship. You're actually all surprised to see actually floats into port right around the time you are to have a couple of hours to resupply, and even though she doesn't emerge for long, she does emerge just long enough to get a general landscape of what's going on. You see one of the leaders of the Horde factions is Sylvanas Windrunner, leader of the Forsaken. And she will be spearheading this journey, and on the lead flagship for the 3 different ones that you're going on.
But that's not the ship we're on.
But no, you have been hired specifically as the band that will protect the 3rd ship, which is the Iron Reaper, and she's going to be on the main flagship, which is the Banshee's Whale.
And how does the Iron Reaper look? I mean, does it look like a seaworthy craft, or is it decrepit? Like, what's its status?
Well, let me give you a better visual. So here you are as you jump up onto the Iron Reaper. You can see a little bit of it, at least, but yeah, mainly a wooden vessel with iron, braces and a lot of plating and structure that they've put on it to make it a little bit more fortified. It's meant to be a transport ship. It doesn't have a whole lot in the way of ammunitions. That's why you're here. You guys are here to protect it. But
What are the ammunitions?
right, but it is meant to be able to sail in rough rough areas, and be able to go far. It's meant to be the kind of ship that you can sail to another continent.
Is it a multi-deck ship? Are there below decks for where bunks are and such?
Yeah, there's just the below deck for that, and then just the top deck. For
Probably like a
everything
sloop
else.
then.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go below deck and make sure I throw my crap on a bunk early to make sure I get first pick of bunks as far away from the smell of the latrines as I can.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna follow Oz to do the same thing.
Rollins gonna be annoyed and kind of be muttering to herself, "We should be on that ship, not this ship. This is stupid."
Yes.
Tallulah's go.
And while
Go ahead.
and while Ross, you've never met the Banshee Queen in person. You know of her, and you believe that she knows of you in terms of missions you've been sent on and missives that have been sent through. You know that she's at least heard your name.
So is our collective backstory in that we're sort of a pseudo commando group, kind of?
Yeah, you guys have been sent on a few different missions for the Horde before. You guys are considered kind of your own specialty units that they give specific missions to, and they thought that this would be something that would be fairly well up your alley in terms of your skill sets.
And so all we really know about what we're sent on at this point is that it's to protect the Iron. I'm sorry, the name of the ship.
Yeah, the Iron Reaper, which you do know
They
that.
call it the Iron Maiden, and I was like, nope, that is the name of the band, not the name of what we're dealing with here.
Excellent band, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you know that you have been selected for this important recovery mission, which is going to Northrend. You know that you're supposed to be recovering a specific artifact, but only the lead ship and the lead commander have been told what that artifact is. So it's been very kind of hush hush, specifically what you're going after. But they know they're going to need some muscle, both for the journey there and once you get there in Northrend.
So Rollin, after done being annoyed, is gonna basically do a rundown of the ship and make sure that everything looks how it's supposed to, because that has to do a lot with Rollin's history. And go find the captain and see what position Rollin has been assigned to, and be really annoyed if it's not what Rollin thinks she deserves.
It's funny, I was going to go not inspect the ship because I don't have any of that in my background and it wouldn't make a damn sense to me, but I was going to go introduce myself to the captain.
Unfortunately, that is the one person that was not out long enough to really interact. She came out, she kind of took a surveying and gave a few basic instructions, and then she went back under because it's the middle of the day, and she doesn't particularly enjoy the sunlight. It doesn't hurt her. She just, she lives
Sylvanas.
in Sylvanas lives in the Undercity, and so do all of the undead. They usually don't bathe. They don't sunbathe.
No, the captain of our ship.
Yeah, the captain
yes.
of our ship. That's who I wanted to introduce.
Talk to.
Yeah, you talk to him a bit. He tells you. He kind of shows you around the ship. Kind of helps you familiarize yourself with the crew. There are 5 deckhands that they're just very basic sailors that will be good in terms of helping you with this mission, but they don't really have any kind of fighting background, so they won't be helping you all that much in combat. But
I'm gonna ask the captain, what position did you give me?
well, and that's the thing is they didn't give you guys any specific positions for the actual crew, though you are somebody that can fill in if you were to lose one of these positions, and they do have a spare in that. They need basically the captain and 4 to run the ship, and they have 1 extra person. So your job is to protect them, and just in general to protect the ship.
I'm gonna say to the captain, I'm your quartermaster now.
He kind of nods and says, "That's fine." And this is an orc captain, by the way. This is a completely orc crew based out of Orgrimmar.
I figured.
Right.
And for those who don't know, the quartermaster is basically second in command on the ship.
You get a lot of work, zug zug, all that good stuff.
Oh yeah.
As you do. All right, so All right, so as you guys set sail, parting from the docks of Orgrimmar, you're now traveling north along the coastline of Kalimdor. And while some of you are seasoned sailors capable of working on the ship, it's not really expected for you guys to do too much work in terms of the sailing. But you have been told, of course, that successful completion of this mission will be very well rewarded, so you're definitely interested in doing a good job. But as you're sailing up the coast for the first few hours, smooth sailing overall, you pass by Ajara in the first afternoon. You can smell a faint bit of the oily smell of the goblin machinery as they work to harvest lumber to bring back to Orgrimmar. You also notice that many of these goblin machines are tearing into the earth. They're actually reshaping the coastline in a project that you had all heard about to reshape Ajara to look like a giant symbol of the Horde, which of course is right above the capital. You do see some Naga on your trip along the coastline. These large serpentine humanoids. They sometimes hiss if they notice you, but they otherwise don't pay you much mind. You all know that while they do swim fast, they're generally not fast enough to keep up with your ships. But you've been told that this voyage should take 1 to 2 weeks, but it is time sensitive. The sooner you get there, do your objective, and get back, the better you'll be rewarded, and the more appreciative your superiors will be. So for this voyage, this is going to be a group challenge. There are opportunities for you guys to help the voyage go along faster and more efficiency, and that is basically like any skill challenge. You guys will want to come up with creative means to try and help on the ship to make things go more efficiently, if you guys want to. Basically, for the first leg of the journey, there will be 3 opportunities, and if you succeed, that leg of the journey will take 1 day, or if not, the journey will take 2 days. So, does anyone have anything they would like to do to try and help for the first leg of the journey?
Is it a rowing ship or a sailing ship?
It's a sailing ship.
I would like to use my expertise with navigator's tools to see if we can ensure that we stay on course.
All right. Go ahead and make a nature check, and because of your seafaring background, you can have advantage.
Well, I have navigator's tools. Like, it's a thing I can roll.
Okay, cool. Go for it. That actually will then save you from that one. So yeah, natural 20. So yes, you help not only your ship, but all 3 of the ships kind of find your way along the coastline in a way that would be most efficient, going with the currents and avoiding any kind of obstacles. And you guys make it pretty quickly through the first part of the journey. You guys make it well up the coastline before the first night. As the sun is starting to set, you guys start to pass the most northeastern territory of Kalimdor, which is winter spring. So it starts to become a little bit colder. And as the sun goes down, I'm going to have everybody make a perception check.
Oh, Andrew.
I'm asleep. I'm very asleep.
It's not the same as Merrick.
Yeah, you're starting to fall asleep a little bit.
Ooh. Tallulah is too busy making sure everybody is dressed properly for the cold weather.
And Tala's just kind of like shrugging her off, like she's very used to the almost mothering nature of Tallulah. And so Tala's kind of like, I'm fine. But I'm trying to sleep. I'm fine.
All right, so I think we're missing one. We didn't get one from
Oz.
Amane.
Hello?
Jeremy, are you live?
Jeremy might have stepped away.
I literally put Jeremy to sleep. That's a bummer.
No, he just left, I think. He might have
literally
audio.
just got so mad he left.
All right. Well,
Perception checks already.
Perception check, like that.
how dare you start with a perception? All right. So
Of all the rolls in all the places.
all right. So only Rollin hears this at first, but you start to hear the flapping of wings, but it doesn't sound like birds. It sounds like maybe something's a little bit different about the flapping. And as the darkness falls, you all see a large gaggle of harpies fall upon your ship, and you guys will be rolling some initiative for it. As your
I don't have control of my token. No, I do.
yeah, you guys should have control, I think.
I do now. I'm good. I think it was like
So let's see. The helm would be right here, I believe. Yeah, that's the helm right there.
my initiative is so bad. I roll a negative. I got a -1 on this thing.
I also have a -1.
Oh, you want to put that timer up first.
Yeah, you're gonna want to pop up the
Oh
turn
yeah,
order.
you're right. That would be a good thing to do, wouldn't it?
Uh-huh.
Alrighty.
Well, let me get my initiative put in there.
By the way, one rule that you guys should be aware of: because I'm DMing for this session, you guys are not allowed to watch the live stream. Otherwise, you guys will see things you're not supposed to.
Oh, sure.
But
So watch the live stream if we feel like
Ooh.
we're a total party death coming.
I was debating whether or not I should tell you guys, and because I'm sure none of you watch the live stream anyway.
Oh,
It's like now they're gonna be tipped off.
Now we will.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway. Alright, so let's get the harpies some initiative, shall we?
no,
So-
they just don't need to be in the turn order.
Yeah,
we
I
can just
know.
all
We'll
keep
just
going.
forget it. Oh, look at that.
We can just keep going.
How about a natural 20 for me to start this off?
I had a natural 22. It's not my fault you have a +5 initiative modifier or whatever. Why is my initiative 19? I have a +3.
Yeah, that's not adding it right.
So I should have a 22.
No.
What's funny is it even says 3 below it,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
but it's
Okay.
actually no. You actually rolled a 20. You should have 20. Yeah, it subtracted 1. It didn't even just.
Yeah.
That's bizarre.
I don't know. Let's see, what did you roll,
Me?
Goose?
Well, I have a 0, and I rolled a 6, and it gave me a 6. Oh no, I have a 1. That should be a 7, actually.
Yeah, so it's not adding that correctly for some reason.
Weird.
All right. Well, here, I think I can roll for Jeremy until we figure out
Yeah.
what's going on with him.
I texted him.
But
I
it
don't
did
know.
it did roll the harpies correctly.
Yeah,
Weird.
Of course it did.
got him selected.
Trying to cheat already.
First of all, when you're the DM, it's not actually cheating.
Oh jeez.
Well, it looks like
No.
it rolled.
It's just creative strategizing.
It's just how it rolls. It's a just.
It rolled correctly for him. Strange. Why am I at the bottom?
Because he hasn't sorted it yet, I would imagine.
I actually did sort it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Resort it again.
There we go.
There you go.
There we go.
All right.
The roll
And of
20 is
course,
just
the
a little.
guy that's not here is the first one. Oh, actually, we also needed to make a perception check for him, didn't we?
Yeah.
So anyone who failed the perception check, which the DC was
My lowest was 2. Yeah. Okay. Oh, anybody failed? I see what you're saying. Never mind.
the DC was 12. So
Because I know nothing about sailing and wouldn't have been productive at all, I would just have been leaning against the mast, falling asleep.
let's see. His perception is 5, so I bet he's gonna pass. Oh yeah.
I'm trying to explain to you that's not a safe place to sleep.
As per usual, I ignore you, just like more Rollin.
Yeah, no, you guys are all still up on the deck, but some of you are just nodding off a little bit. It's already started to become a boring journey, and anyone who failed the perception check is surprised and does not get to act on the first round. So that's going to be
Of course not.
That's going to be Tallulah,
Tala.
Oz,
Yep.
Tala, and Rollin passed it. Okay. Well, I guess should I do something for Jeremy here?
Well, you can either do that or you can pass it over to
Yeah, I
somebody.
wonder what's going on with him.
I'm not sure.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, Goose. Why don't we let you?
All right.
Play.
You can show me his character sheet. I
There
can
you go.
take it.
You
What
got
the
it.
hell is he?
He's a ranger.
He's
Yeah, but
a,
he's this weird
a
war-
hunter. Yeah. Oh,
He's
and
the
we
weird
actually
Warcraft Ranger.
need to roll initiative for the Panther as well. Got lots of stuff to do.
Ah, son of a bitch. I had barely remembered half of my stuff. Actually, I didn't. I had barely remembered my stuff. Does he have a sheet for the Panther or whatever?
I'll handle the Panther.
Okay, perfect.
He's an NPC anyway.
One less thing for me to figure out.
Yeah.
Well, frankly, I'm not going to do much more than attack or anything with him, but is he up first? Which one is
Yes, he is
He
first.
is.
he? Perfect.
Right here. And his
He will
indication
draw-
would be to probably shoot something.
Yep, he's going to draw the pistol and shoot the one to the right.
So he gets to make 3 attacks with the pistol.
Okay, well. There you go.
All of those.
Bang, bang, bang.
The 11 just hits, for what it's worth.
There you go. 21,
Oof.
32,
Big
45.
damage.
Yeah, and that's to this one?
Yep.
Yeah, instantly gone. Boom.
And then he goes-
The third hit is the one that downs it, but yeah, just
And
gone.
then she goes,
Yeah, no problem. All right.
Sorry, I'm here. I'm here.
too late.
Sorry.
I already have your character. It's done. You're fired.
Yeah, bye. Bye. See you next campaign.
All right.
Good. I can close your. I just had you kill an harpy.
How many
Congratulations.
attacks you make?
All 3. It's dead. You don't see
You
him
get
off to the
4
right.
in the first round.
Well, if you were here, then you would have known that.
Why not, Jeremy? Go ahead and take your 1 extra attack for the first round.
I scared him away.
Oh, did he leave?
No.
Who do we lose now?
It was Jeremy.
Is he having problems?
I'm not sure.
Well, while we're waiting, I think I'll try to maybe make this play again. See if it works this time.
There he is. There he is. No, that's Rhythm Bot.
Rhythm Bot is there, it's just not playing anymore.
Oh, he said his power went out.
Oh, that's a bummer.
What
Ah.
convenient timing.
That was really timing because it looks like he totally rage quit. I'm like,
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, you pissed him off.
I half thought that for a second, but we've said way harsher things to each other over the past 25 years, so that would have been a terrible thing to rage quit on.
Right?
Well, I
that
mean,
might have been the final straw. Who knows?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right. Well, Roland, it is your turn.
okay. I'm going to assume that I am not hidden.
No, you're right in the middle of everything right now. So yeah, they all see you.
So I'm going to. Looks like there's some like stairs type stuff right here, maybe.
Yeah, there's lots of different things to try and hide yourself from them.
I'm gonna jump down there and I'm gonna bonus action try to hide.
All right. Well, stealth check. Yeah, you're hidden.
I'm gonna shoot that one.
Okay. You have advantage. That hits.
Alright. So, about 21 damage.
All right. Pretty good hit. It definitely felt it. Anything else?
Yeah, I'm gonna move further to be right here.
Alrighty.
And that's it.
And it is the Harpy's turn. So they all have a fly speed of 40. So we will see the first one pop up to the top, as far away from everybody as possible. And then let's see, we got. Yeah, everybody else can easily reach into where they're going. They just kind of swarm in, and you can see it's definitely a packed mentality. You can tell. Actually, I will have everybody while we're doing this. Go ahead and we're gonna do a group. A group nature or survival check, whichever you prefer. If we get 3 passes, then I'll give you some information about Harvey.
Jeez Louise.
Nope. That is.
Jeremy. Still not Jeremy. Make
Yeah,
one.
well, I mean, it's 3 fails as it is, so.
Yeah, so we can't pass.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll it anyway.
So you
This
guys
is
know
closer.
for right now they're attacking very confidently because they've got the numbers advantage. All right, so start off with the top harpy, who is up here, and she is going to start singing a luring song. So everybody within 300 feet must succeed on a DC 11 Wisdom saving throw.
Am I within that distance?
Nope.
Everybody on the boat is within that distance.
You said wisdom save?
Yes.
Oh,
Oh, guys. Not like this.
I want us all to fail and have a TPK 5 seconds in the game for comedy.
It would be hilarious.
And then we retcon. So you go to this boat and you're gonna go on a mission.
Everyone had a collective shared bad dream.
All right, and then we still need one from Amane.
I keep forgetting I'm doing that.
Sorry, Goose, giving you double. Okay, so Tallulah and Oz both fail, and you are now charmed. You must walk towards the harpy.
Which one is it?
This top one up here. So you're gonna have to try to walk around or through to get to that harpy. At the end of each of your turns, and anytime you take damage, you can repeat your wisdom saving throw. And if you succeed it, you are immune to that harpy song for 24 hours. So then, speaking of which, we're going to see a lot of them go ahead and attack. They do have multi-attack, so they get one with claws and one with talon. The first one harpy will attack Amane. I don't know, Amane is
15.
at 15, so the claws will hit, 4 slashing. 2 of them will attack Tallulah.
those will
18, 16?
18 and 16 will both hit.
I assume an 11 and 10 miss, though.
Yeah, those will miss.
So you get 5. So you get 8 damage, and you may make 2 more wisdom saving throws. To try and snap out of the charm.
Oh, he passed it.
Yep, you're good.
Sweet.
So you're immune to that harpy's song, and then have 1 attacking Tala, and the 20 I think will hit you. Andrew.
Yep, the 20 does not hit me. 22.
Oh yeah, no, you're good.
He's a tanky boy.
Yeah.
Hella AC for level 5.
Clank.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. I remember looking at that. All right, and then 2 attacks for Rollin.
Those are both at disadvantage. They both miss.
Okay.
Because of this guy.
Yes. Of course. How could we forget? And then Oz. So you are currently charmed, so they're kind of hoping that some of these will hit you, I think. But yeah, you're going to get attacked by 3 of these guys.
The 21 and the 23 will hit.
All right, so for now, they're just looking to try and deal some damage. So they're going to go ahead and
By the way, my wisdom saves are now 114.
Wow. and you take 11 damage. All right, so then we will move on, and yeah, I'm gonna say that the cat couldn't be charmed, but it's gonna go ahead and attack the bottom one here.
Yeah. Protect the ranger, sure, hunter, whatever.
Or attack master, attack the one that feeds me.
It was set to defensive.
And a 15 does hit for 3 damage.
He has a +8 to its claw. Holy shit!
Yeah, good. It's good. It's a companion pet, so that's all right.
That thing could probably beat me up in a fight.
All right.
I don't think it does too much damage though.
And Tala, you were surprised this round, and same thing with Tallulah. And actually Oz as well. So all of you guys can act.
Whoa! I'm surprised and charmed 3 times over.
Yeah. Well, you get another round. Maybe they'll knock some sense into you the next time around. Amane.
Amane will draw the short sword and attack the one that the bear attacked. Wolf, Wolverine,
Panther.
Saber-tooth
Panther.
tiger, whatever.
you're getting warmer. You're getting warmer. Those both hit.
Is it 2 or 3?
2 of those hit.
No, 2 or 3 attacks.
2. Yeah, I think he only gets 2 with the
yeah.
short sword. So yeah, those first 2 will hit.
Well,
Either
if
way.
he has 2 out and does he have 2 weapon fighting? What's his fighting style?
I don't know.
He took a specialty one for like ranged attacks, so I think he only gets the 2.
Well, he has the pistol in one hand and the short sword, but he's not going to attack with the other weapon. It's just going to be short sword. So 10 points of damage.
Alrighty.
Doesn't seem right though.
Oh yeah, you're right. 10.
Yep, 10.
All right, that one started to take some hits, but it's not quite worried yet. But yeah, Roland.
Guys, just as a note, when I log back into Roll20, they have a big banner that says there's issues with character sheets currently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for that,
Yeah.
Roll20.
I mean, we could have told him that one.
So Rollin is gonna step to right here, and is going to fire at that one with the pistol.
You would be at disadvantage being in melee range with one of them.
Look at the thingy I posted.
Never mind.
So
yes,
that hits, and it's engaged in melee, so I get sneak attack.
Yep.
20 damage.
Yep, downed. One less harpy to deal with.
And now I'm going to attack this one with my short sword. That's gonna miss, I'm sure.
Yes.
Okay, and then I'll move to right here, and that's it.
All right. So the harpy's turn. You see this one fly up, as most of you have succeeded, except for Oz. And this one is going to swoop down and kind of prepare to start hitting the next turn, but can't quite make it all the way to anybody. But we'll continue singing, just for Oz, for nobody else.
It's my favorite tune.
But yeah, this one up top will start singing. So you guys are immune to the first harpy singing, but everyone else has to make everyone but Oz has to make a wisdom saving throw for the new harpy that's singing up top.
Oh my god.
Yeah. All right. So Tala's good, and Amane would need to make one as well. I should have some kind of symbol for charmed. Let's see. Symbol in here.
I didn't mean to click that, sorry.
Hey,
It's all
guys,
good.
Do you mind making a wisdom saving throw for Amane?
Oh, sure, absolutely.
And yeah, Amane is good. Not that one. Rollin is charmed. Okay, so then they're going to do their attacks. So we got one that's going to keep attacking Amane. And that one will hit but instead of dealing damage, as it starts to see some of the harpies falling, it's actually going to grapple Amane and attempt to lift them into the air and move them off the boat and drop them. So the harpies' movement is hindered quite heavily based on how heavy the person is. They're able to drag Amane to the side, but that is it for this turn. And then one will attack Tallulah. 18 and
Yeah, that'll
21.
hit.
Alright, so they'll hit you with the claws, and then the talons will instead grapple you. And because you're a large creature, even though you're not you're not a large, but you're
Medium.
medium, but kind of on the big side of medium. They can only move you about 5 to 10. So they'll move you to there. But you get the sense that both of these will be in big trouble. Both your companions will be in big trouble if you guys don't do something to have them release their quarry here. But 2 will attack Rollin, or 1 will attack Rollin. And does a 15 hit?
A 15 does hit.
Alright, so to finally get you with the claws for 9, and you may make a wisdom save.
Yeah.
What's the DC?
The DC is just 11.
We're just
Okay,
rolling.
well, I postulate you this and say that I win.
Oh, you absolutely win. Alright, well done. 1 will attack Tallulah. Those both miss because you're a god. And you're gonna get 2 harpies attacking Oz. So
D18.
18. Alright. For 3. And you may make a wisdom save.
Yeah, baby.
Damn.
Wow.
Alright, so Kitty's turn. Kitty is going to turn to try and help Master out again one. Yeah, that hits. That's definitely incorrect. There's something wrong with this panther's bite. It doesn't do 2 piercing.
It's supposed to be 1d4 plus 2? What's it supposed to be?
It rolled a 0.
Yeah,
It
It
rolled
says
a
that it
zero.
rolled a
All right.
0.
Here, that's okay. I can look this up. Panther. So, here. So Panther's bite is supposed to be 1d6 plus 2. So that would have been both times. I see what he did. So it's 1d6 plus their strength, which yeah is 2. Okay. So I'm gonna re-roll the last one as well because that should have been extra damage. Oh, oops. Okay, so that's 8 extra damage because it added the 2 from last. It only did the 2 from last time.
That's much better.
And then the harpy as the harpy gets slashed by the claws, has to make a Constitution saving throw to keep hold on Amane. And fails, so it drops Amane, no longer grappled. And that's the turn for the kitty. Tala, what would you like to do?
So Tala is going to do a weapon of justice on this harpy here that is taking Tallulah off the deck.
Okay.
And that is this.
Okay, con saving throw. What's your DC?
DC is... Where the shit is my DC? Why am I not seeing my DC?
If you go into spells, the spells tab, it'll tell you your spell DC.
14.
Ooh, just barely made it.
Son of a... Here, I thought I was going to be all badass.
It's a good move. Keep them stunned so she can't dump your healer overboard.
Well, I would argue if you stun it, would it fall? Maybe not. Paralyzed
no,
it would.
It would still hold on, like it'd be just clenching the talons, and it would just stay where it is.
So Tallulah would be like, "Ow! You made it clench harder."
Yeah. Well, it's already clenching. Anyway, so that's your action. Anything for your bonus action or movement?
I'm going to go ahead and do Templar's Verdict against this harpy.
Okay. Noted. All right, so Tallulah, you are charmed. You're trying to move towards this harpy up top, but you're also grappled. So you're just kind of doing the running man, you know? But you can make a wisdom saving throw at the end of your turn.
Sad. So is that I can only make the wisdom save, or can I do other stuff besides move to the harpy?
So the song is with the song's ability. While charmed by the harpy, the target is incapacitated and ignores the song of other harpies.
Okay, so I'm incapacitated.
And
so
all
I'll
you can
just,
do is
I'll
move
make my
5.
save.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Okay, cool.
10. So no, I fail again. I think.
Just barely. The DC's 11.
I have a +5 to wisdom, and I failed 3 times.
You guys are just rolling really, really bad. But you know that turns around generally. All right, so
This is all the DM's fault.
so Oz, you have to move towards the harpy.
Is it full movement? Like you just have to move
I believe
as much as you can, basically.
Must move its turn towards the harpy by the most.
Says you're
direct
incapacitated.
route.
You're
Well,
incapacitated.
Incapacitated meaning like you can't do any actions.
I would assume just
other
regular
than
movement,
move.
right?
Yeah, so like you would move here, or you would move here, and you'd start going up. So you move to here first, and you take an attack of opportunity from this one.
Yep,
Which
so
will let you
Trying.
potentially make a wisdom save.
there you go.
Yeah, assuming they hit you. You take
Nope.
one from this one on your way by. Yeah, there you go.
Well, that will hit, yeah.
Oof.
So 14 slashing,
Hey!
and you're no
Huzzah!
longer charmed. And now
So-
you can act on your turn.
You would have stopped right here.
Okay.
Yeah, so
And-
you've used 10 feet of your movement, but otherwise you are good to take your turn. And you just got hit pretty hard, but
Mm-hmm.
you know, you're burly. You're a burly orc. You got lots and lots of health. You're good.
Yeah, it's going to be easier to do it from here. So I already took the attack of opportunity from this middle one, right?
Yeah, so both of these have already used their reaction.
So I'm going to move to there. I'm going to draw my Javelin of Lightning. I'm going to throw it at this one directly to the bottom, and then the lightning. This might get a little dicey. Sorry, Thomas, but
Well, you're going to die.
it's four for the price of one.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it.
And he'll get to make a wisdom save.
Right, yeah.
And I'm
Try
the
to
one
shock
charming
him
you.
awake.
Sure. So this is for the first one, which I do have to roll to hit. 14.
Yes, that hits.
Okay, so it takes 14 damage plus this. Oops, ignore that. I think a javelin is 1d6 damage.
Yes.
So for 18 damage on this one.
Okay.
And then the other 3 and Thomas need to make a reflex save DC 14. I'm sorry, DC 13. Or take 14 points of damage, half on a success.
Good thing I have a -1 to that.
Okay, so let's see. 1, 2, 3.
So
I
the
think the
fails
second
take
one.
14 and the passes take 7.
Oh yeah, I passed my save.
Nice. See, it was all worth it.
I'm gonna die.
Okay, and this one that is holding Thomas has to make a con save.
I'm not doing too good on HP.
and it just barely passed to keep holding on to you.
Some bitch.
Yeah, almost.
All right, that's my turn.
All right, good turn. Come on in.
If I killed Thomas, probably not.
Tallulah just yells out, I think you accidentally hit me there.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Accident. All right, so Jeremy, Amane, you were picked up by this harpy right below you and carried almost off the ship, but your faithful panther came to help you, and the harpy has now released you. However, your good friend Tallulah over here is still being gripped by the harpy and is going to try to throw her overboard next.
Okay, so who is this again? Is this Jeremy?
Oh, is Jeremy not back yet?
Not
my
quite
bad.
yet.
Not yet.
So I will, but that was a great recap. Jeremy
For those
will.
of you who just joined us,
So what's the reloading property on the pistol?
one of his feats there is no reloading property.
Okay,
He can
perfect.
shoot
Okay,
it. He can just shoot it 3 times. But actually, I don't know if that has the same thing for no disadvantage on.
It does.
Close and okay, yeah. So
It
you're
does.
good.
It's the same
It's
thing.
the same one. He'll fire at the one that's holding Thomas. Bang, bang.
Oh, you crit it.
bang.
All right, so all 3 of those will hit.
17, 23,
Oh.
29. 29.
Yeah. Those the 3 together are enough. So Tallulah drops down, and did you make your wisdom save off the lightning?
He did.
Okay, so yeah, you are now freed, and you are not under the effect of any of these, and you're good to go.
Is it my turn?
Well, no, but you're.
Yeah, that's okay. That's what I thought.
All right, so Rollin.
Rollin is going to move to here and then make a swordy type attack against this guy. I'm guessing an 18 hits.
Yes, indeed.
And because I am an outlaw rogue and there are no enemies within 5 feet of me, I get sneak attack.
All right.
So that is a whole 13 damage.
Alrighty.
And also because I'm an outlaw rogue, I can now leave that person's range without provoking an attack of opportunity. And I'm going to move to right there, and then I'm going to try to shoot him with my pistol.
Alrighty. Yes, that hits.
So, ignore the sneak attack, 13 more damage to this guy.
Alright, that one's starting to look pretty nervous, because it has been hit pretty hard a few times, and it's not looking so great. Alright. So now it is the Harpy's turn. This one on top has decided to abandon the song, as nobody else is listening, and is going to fly down. And the rest are just kind of going full bore in to try to attack people at this point, because they're kind of worried that the songs are not doing it. So we will have two attacking Amane. All right, so the 17 and the 22, I think will hit, right? Goose? This is for Jeremy's character. Okay.
Yes.
All right, so 6.
Hey!
Huzzah!
Hey,
Yeah.
look, there's lights.
I'm
Okay, well,
dying.
Yeah.
The last thing I'm going to do on your character sheet is apply these damage to you, and now it's back to you.
All right, and then
Now
one-
back to you.
Yeah. One is going to attack Tala and just totally not even come close because that AC is ridiculous. And then 2 will attack Rollin.
Okay.
So the 19 and the 21, I assume, hit.
Well, it would
Oh,
be
actually, disadvantage, right. So the 15 for the claws.
the 15 actually will hit. So yeah.
Okay. So then it'll get the 21 for the talons. And I don't think it's doing the talons right. Oh, no, it is. Just roll the 1. So yeah, 8 damage. And then 2 will attack. So 13 doesn't hit, right? That's just the crit and then the 17. Mongoose?
For me, my AC is 16, so 17 hits. The rest doesn't.
13 damage.
Well, it's a good thing I rolled like just a shit ton of hit points.
I know, right? You're just soaking it all up.
Yeah.
Well, you and Tallulah, anyway. All right. So, Jeremy, it is now your cat's turn. By the way, I fixed your cat's damage. The claw was only doing 2 instead of a d6 plus 2.
Oh, whoops. My bad.
Oops.
You absolute
Oops,
fool.
my bad.
I know. Okay. I just had to double check things. Alright, he's gonna attack the one right in front of him. And he'll bite.
Yeah, that hits. Alright, 7 damage. That one's looking rough. Alright, Tala.
So Tala is going to go ahead and smash her weapon into our wonderful friend that's sitting in front of me, our longsword.
Yep, and you have advantage because of your invocation from last turn.
Yes.
Bonus action, I forget the name of it, but yeah.
Something Templar or something.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, 26 will definitely hit.
You probably get 2 attacks.
You
as
do,
well.
you get 2 attacks.
Could have used it two-handed, I guess, too. That would have been smart, but...
Well, if you use it two-handed, you would have to drop your shield, which is what's giving you that ridiculously high AC.
Yeah, and that's why...
But yeah, you still have advantage anyway, so...
So you critted on the second one.
Yeah, so 17...
I'm gonna go with that thing's dead.
Almost. It is almost dead.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it is. You bring down the you bring down the longsword, and you just make a very, very deep cut down its side. It's now bleeding profusely, and it is thinking twice about standing anywhere near you.
You're goddamn right.
All right,
I
Tallulah.
take it the kids are not next to you anymore.
No, they left.
Did they get bored or?
Mm-mm.
That's probably their bedtime.
Their mom came in and told them it was bedtime.
Ah.
So can I cast the Templar's Verdict on more than one thing?
No, I think it's also a channel divinity. I think, which I think you only get to do once until you take a short or long rest.
I thought that was...
It would depend on whether or not it has concentration. If it's not concentration, then you can.
Good question, though.
Yeah, it doesn't say in the book.
I'll take a look real quick while we finally get a move from Tallulah.
Yeah, we've saved your ass. We carried you the entire time.
Oh boy. I'm gonna come help my friend Tala over here. Actually, yeah. So I'm gonna... I haven't played a druid in forever. Do druids get 2 attacks at level 5? I should know this. I apologize.
No, I don't think druids get extra attack.
I'm pretty sure they don't. I don't think none of the primary casters get a second attack. Cleric, druid, sorcerer, wizard.
if they shapeshift, some of their shapeshifts might.
Correct.
But...
But the ones that are like primary spellcasting classes don't get them.
I know. I really wanted them on Lucius.
So yeah, Andrew, you get so that is a channel divinity that you used, and you must finish a short or long rest to use your channel divinity again. So you want to be pretty sparing with it. Like generally, that's the kind of thing you'd use on a boss.
Right.
Can I undo my movement?
Absolutely.
Knowing that I don't have 2 attacks. Instead, I'm going to call lightning onto these 2 harpies over here.
Cool.
And I think he may accidentally hit me with the lightning.
Nope, I can do it here.
Quote unquote accidentally. Let's see.
I'm convinced that was an accident.
I'm gonna go get a cookie. I'll be right back.
So they have to make a DC 13 tech save or take 12 lightning damage or half as much on a successful save. And the area around us, for 120 feet, has a very large storm cloud centered above the ship.
All right, so they do both make their dex saves, so they'll take 6 damage. And that is the first time you guys are seeing these harpies get hit. That's their first bit of damage.
Beautiful.
And Tululu's just going to yell, "For the Horde!"
Yeah, there you go. more like a cheerleader for the Horde. All right, Oz. You're surrounded by harpies.
I will bonus action second wind
All right.
to get my 15 extra health. And then she will draw the maul, flex her shoulders, and smack this one.
Is this the first time we're seeing you hit with your maw?
Yep, because I used the Javelin of Lightning the first
Cool.
time.
All right, so you don't have any rage points built up, but
No, I haven't raged either.
yeah, but you do get. You get a rage point into your rage pool every time you get hit. We're gonna have to remember that.
Even if you're not raging?
Yeah. It's a rage point pool. You get 3 when you use your rage, and you don't. In this one, you don't automatically get like half your damage when you're raging.
Yeah, I saw that, but I didn't think the rage reserve would build up if you weren't actually raging.
We'll have to check that. I think it does because I think all the raging does is it gives you three rage or like 1 rage point. I want to say like 1 rage point per level or 3 rage points or something.
Yeah, something like that. It says you gain 1 each point each time you hit with a melee weapon attack. You gain 2 when you land a critical hit with the melee attack. You can never have more rage points in your warrior level.
Yeah, so you don't have to be raging, but it gives you the.
Well, I would
the
definitely
3.
be at 5 then, because I've hit
been
once and
several
now
times.
yeah, and now so I'll just put it at 5.
So do you
now.
want to spend any of your rage points, or are you?
Well, I still have to bonus action raise. I'm pretty sure, right?
No, you can.
Yeah, it says on your turn you can rage as a bonus action,
Sure, that's fine.
which I didn't do because I healed instead.
Yeah, we'll just say that you can only use the rage stuff when you're raging. That's fine.
When you're
That's
raged, right? Yeah, that's what I
that's
figured.
simpler.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, 24 hits.
13 points of bludgeoning damage.
All right, and this is to the left or right
Yep,
one?
the left one.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
All right, and Amane. Your first time acting, sort of.
Yep.
You are also surrounded by harpies, but they're pretty hurt.
So this one's pretty wounded, right?
Now they're both pretty wounded.
All right. I'm going to attack this one.
Okay. Yeah, those all hit, all 3. The first one, the 14 downs the first one.
I would have probably then shifted and shot behind me.
Yep, and the second one downs the second one.
Yeah, that sounds about
And
right.
your third?
Oh.
Oh.
We'll say that one.
Okay, we'll put 9 points on that one.
It's like,
Yeah, all of a sudden, it's like the tides are turning as soon as those magical pistols come out. Who would have known?
weird.
I know, right?
And I haven't even started doing any of the dicketry stuff.
And the harpies suddenly look very very shaken. Oh no! I deleted the harpies out of the turn order because I deleted my.
Guess I
harpies.
can't go.
Yeah, they're done.
That's what that means.
Let's see. I think they were like 22.
They were I was before them.
They were after you. Yeah. So we'll.
Yeah, they were
we'll
21.
We'll just say 21, for the sake of friends. All right, Rollin.
Rollin is going to attack this one with sword.
Okay.
Sword's a good move.
Does a 13 hit.
It does.
So that is 5 damage, and I am going to step back and not provoke an attack because I'm an outlaw rogue. And then I'm going to try to shoot this one in the face with my pistol.
Alrighty.
Hey, did anybody know that Rollin is an outlaw rogue?
I'm just making sure.
I don't know. That's what I've. That's what I've heard.
20 hits, and by the way, that one's looking pretty rough as it is. But yeah, it's 20 hits.
Well,
I don't
and
know. You can't believe
That's-
what you hear.
That's my bad. I didn't mark it with that below half marker, but it is below half.
I get sneak attack because I don't have any enemies within 5 feet.
Because you're an outlaw rogue.
Because you're an outlaw rogue,
Because I'm an outlaw rogue. So.
and that one
19.
and that one dies because you're an outlaw rogue.
Yes. And then I'm going to step back in to melee with this one.
All right. So these harpies are looking around, and enough of
Because I'm an
their
outlaw rogue.
yeah, they're looking around because you're an outlaw rogue. Enough of them of their ranks have fallen that they have decided to flee for their lives. So Tala, Oz, and Roland, you may make melee attacks of opportunity.
I have advantage against the one next to me, so she's
So
dead.
you deal 10 to that one. And this one flies off the map and is gone. These guys are
This one's
just
a
double
damage.
dashing. They're not even... This one survives, actually, just barely. Like, Oz almost takes it down, but it flies off the map. And, 12 damage is enough to down that one completely, so that one doesn't get away. And, yeah, that hits. And, oh, Jesus. Is sneak attack on your turn, though? I think a sneak attack is on your turn. I don't think it applies to...
I'm not sure if it would or not.
I vote that it does because I think he's an outlaw rogue. And
He's an outlaw... Sure, that's how we'll roll. He's an outlaw rogue, and so it dies.
I don't know if... Because you can only have sneak attack
Here it is.
once per
the,
turn.
The verbiage is once per turn, allows for sneak attack out of turn for the rogue if they somehow get a reaction.
Okay,
so it does work
Does.
sure.
because he's an outlaw rogue.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
All right, this joke is officially dead.
No, it's not.
No, we're still doing it.
Not even close.
The harpy is officially dead because I'm an outlaw rogue.
Damn.
I know it is.
I'm about to pull a Jeremy and rage quit.
Oh, that's
Because you're not an outlaw rogue.
Jeremy, you scared us so bad because we all thought you left because you were mad at us.
No. Power went out.
It's like, no!
To be fair, like with the way the last couple days I've gone, I'm surprised my computer didn't explode. But you
Well,
know.
no, because Brian said something. I can't remember what he said, but he said you made like a mean joke to you, and then
I was
you
just
left,
busting your
and
balls, and then it was like Jeremy left, and we're all like, "Oops."
like literally, we were all like,
Ah, crap, we made him mad. All right, so the harpies are beaten back, and they fly back up into their relative caves up in the giant ice wall that leads up to Winter Spring. And you see also the harpies were attacked or did attack on other ships, but they were also summarily refuted. And so the harpy threat seems to have passed as you guys sail past Winter Spring and start to leave the shores of Kalimdor as you guys start to go into open water. And so as we go into the night, the expectation is that from the crew is that at least one or more of you will keep watch during the night, just in case anything does come to attack. So I need 3 groups for watch throughout the night for your first night.
Since I'm an undead, I don't think I have to sleep. Is that right?
You don't have to sleep, but in order to get the benefits of a long rest, you have to spend 4 hours in kind of a meditative state. So you could do 2 of the watches if you want and still get a long rest.
I will be happy to assist with 2 of the watches.
Okay. Anyone else staying up for watch?
I'll take first watch because my beauty sleep needs to be consecutive.
There you go.
I'll take a watch, but I'm trying to remember if it's like normal elf stuff where I only need 4 hours or whatnot. So I'm looking it up.
I'll take watches 2 and 3.
I'll take 4.
There's only 3 watches.
Well,
All right.
But
Then I won't
I
take watch.
mean we can double up. There's no reason we can't have 2 people. on
Nope,
watch.
nope, nope. Okay.
Okay, then sleep.
I mean, there's actually 3 watches and 6 of us. We should double up.
I'm okay with that. I would try to take a watch with Oz.
All right.
And I'll take a watch with Tallulah.
So 3 of you on one watch.
Yep.
Oh, sure.
Totally.
All right.
Get out of
so-
here with your reason, Aaron.
So let's see.
Just saying.
So not on that watch. All right, fine.
All right.
And
So
I would spend the entire watch explaining to Oz why they need to be more careful with their lightning javelin.
And I will listen with earnest intent.
All right. So
That's a good point.
And
Go ahead.
I guess I'll take one of them with Rollin.
Okay. Perception check for the first watch.
Oh man, did we establish an order?
Yeah, I said first because I want my beauty stats.
Oh, okay. 16.
2. I don't roll well. I don't do that.
So Oz keeps basically falling asleep during your story a little bit. You know, obviously incredibly tired, but also trying to get ahead, start on that beauty sleep. So, but your watch passes. Nothing bad happens. Second watch, perception checks.
I'm on the second watch, or
You're on either second or third. I'm
You
on.
go second, I'll take third.
okay. Jesus.
So, yeah, Tala, you're really not used to being on a ship. Like, this is not really your bailiwick. But,
Yeah,
but yeah, you know, Rollin sees everything going by. You see, you know, sea turtles as you start to leave the shore, but you're still, you know, in that area. And then you start to see, like, the big reef sharks that are going under. They don't bother your ship at all, but it's just kind of cool to, you know, with your dark vision to be able to look down and see cool stuff in the water. But yeah,
I'm like, look at that! Don't you see that? Why can't you see that?
yeah, the time passes and nothing happens on your watch. Third watch, perception checks.
Is my panther with me? Does it get to make a perception check?
It would only get to make something based on smell, so there is no great perception for any of that. But you, being the seasoned hunter that you're just in general very perceptive, and you know, you as part of your invocation as a hunter, you just are very detail oriented and in terms of paying attention to nature around you and to everything. So yeah, you keep a close eye out, but nothing happens on your watch. So first night, no problem. So you all wake up in the morning. You guys are in the middle of the sea. You guys, you know, figure you're about 2 to 4 days travel, depending on the wind and you know, just in general how well your ships are able to sail. That will bring us to the second leg of our journey. Would anyone like to do anything to try and help the journey go faster? Now, bear in mind that if you wanted to, Rollin, you can do the same thing as you did before, but the DC will be higher if you repeat at any point in the journey the same strategy of trying to make it go faster.
I will try to intimidate the wind into blowing harder.
That's the kind of thing that you can do, but the DC will be incredibly high.
DC 40.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Roll a natural 20.
Now, for instance, if you had a spell that would blow wind into the thing, into the sails, then yeah, it'd be a relatively low DC. But just anything in any of your guys' toolkits that you can think of to either help the ship go faster, help the crew, anything at all.
I can't really do that without
I'm
spell
gonna
slots, so.
use my. Well, a stone of good luck isn't something I can really use, is it? for this.
What the Stone of Good Luck does is it gives you +1 to all your ability checks and saving throws. So it's kind of more of a mechanical than a
Active use.
yeah.
Right.
Well, I could have Rollin attempt to use knowledge of water vehicles, boats, and try to take the helm and pilot the ship better.
So in general, you spend the day kind of going throughout the crew, kind of helping them tie off mooring lines and all those kind of things. And
does a 13 succeed?
A 13 barely succeeds.
So whoever's at the helm, I'm just gonna be like, move, and kick them, and just take the helm and do better than them, and then kind of like glare at them over my shoulder as I'm doing better than they were.
Tallulah is very offended. She's like, "Oh my!" And then she's gonna go comfort the person who got kicked off and be like, "You were doing a great job."
All right, so you guys make pretty good headway, but you do throughout the day. It's starting to get, even just a couple of days at sea, you guys are starting to get, a little bit tired of it. There's not really a whole lot to do on these ships. You're just kind of trying to stay vigilant in case anything happens. But eventually, you guys make it to night, and you figure it's about time to bed down once again. So. Have to assemble another watch. Do you guys want to do the same watches, or?
I think same is probably fine.
All right.
Yeah, that works.
Okay. So let's see.
That means something's gonna happen.
And
That's not good. I don't like it when ones happen.
Ones generally are not
usually
great.
bad things.
Oh, that makes me so happy. Okay. Anyway.
I don't like it when he's happy.
All right. So perception checks from the first watch, please. Who else was on?
That's
the first
the
watch?
wrong one. That's the wrong
Oh, yeah.
one. This one.
Ooh. All right. So.
Well, wouldn't you just take the first roll though?
I clicked the wrong P word.
So that'd be a 17 actually.
Okay, sure. All right, so both of you, as you're going along, you're kind of just again swapping stories, kind of looking out, and luckily for you guys, it's not very subtle. All of a sudden, you hear this kind of loud. It's kind of like almost a whine sound, but you can tell it's coming from under the water. And then all of a sudden, there is a giant. There's basically a giant shift in your boat. It's almost like you're running aground, but you know that that's not the case because you are in the middle of the ocean. And
This doesn't seem right.
You think. You start to panic. You start to panic because you think something massive is attacking your ship. But then nothing happens. But then you look over and you see the same thing happen to the flagship. It just juts forward as if something massive underneath it has just slammed into it as it's just sailing by. And then finally, when it reaches the third ship, you see a massive... you see something under the water. You can't really see exactly what it is, but it's this giant silhouette, and you start to see tentacles coming up from the side of the ship onto the third one. Not the flagship, but the third ship. And do either of you have dark vision? Tallulah and Oz?
I think orcs have dark vision, don't they?
I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure they do.
I don't think I do.
Hold on, let me look. Yeah,
I think orcs probably do.
I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. I think I hold on, I have the Warhammer book up here if we want to look real quick.
Tauren do not have dark vision.
Okay.
Look off to the side.
pretty much 99% sure that orcs have dark.
I am too.
Well, I imagine with the jolt, it was enough to wake everyone up.
Yeah, everyone
so-
wakes up. You guys passed the perception check, so you start to shout out that there's something wrong. Everybody comes up to the side of the ship, and you guys look under. And those of you with dark vision, you see a massive kraken has come up underneath the third ship and has started to kind of attack.
Is this
And-
within 30 feet of me?
Yeah, this. Yeah, no, that's not.
It is?
It is. So the ship is sailing. The ships are sailing pretty close together. The flagship starts to sail forward a little bit, so it can kind of go around and try to flank it. So your ship kind of sails in a little bit, and right about the time that the Kraken has really gotten a hold of this third ship and started to try to attack it and the people on it, your ship sails a little bit closer to it to get you guys in range. You're kind of shouting out to the captain how close you want to get.
I want to get real close.
Within 60 feet.
I need to get within 30 feet. I have animal friendship.
All right. So anyway,
Animal friendship.
there you go.
By the way,
So-
confirmed orcs do indeed have dark vision.
So do you guys see that handout I just put out?
Yes.
Yes. So you guys see a massive kraken.
Uh,
And you guys are well aware of the fact that a kraken is not something that you feel like you can actually defeat. But if you guys want to, you have the option. I'll let you guys just decide what you would like to do.
I just want to try to get within 30 feet of it so that I can cast animal friendship.
Rollin is going to turn to the captain and be like, "Do we have cannons?"
No, we don't have. You're the cannons.
I'm going to say, don't
What?
worry. Tallulah is going to make friends with it. And I'm going to watch Tallulah become BFF.
I cast Water Walk and I jump over to the side of the boat and I start running towards the Kraken to cast animal friendship on it.
Okay.
Rollin is going to be arguing with the captain about how that's the stupidest shit she's ever heard.
Well, I mean, you guys are supposed to be here to, help protect the ship, so it can't be that crazy.
But that doesn't make any sense. We should have cannons for long-range engagements.
Tallulah
Be
just
not
running
that kind of
across the water
orc.
You just hear Tallulah in the background screaming, "Excuse me, Mr. Kraken!"
Okay, so let's see. Animal friendship, you say?
I can convince one creature within 30 feet of me that I mean it no harm.
Okay.
So,
go
were you
ahead.
the only one that you cast Water Walk on, or did you cast it on other people too?
That's a good... I cast on all my buddies.
Okay. All right. So, since we are engaging with the Kraken rather than trying to run away from it,
You're all gonna die.
I'll have you guys roll some initiative.
Oh yeah, I have 42 hit points now.
And I don't have. I made a token for most of them,
I
but
rolled
I
it
did
wrong
not make
again.
a token for the Kraken because there's no way to put that up on the board. So
I can't tell
Sure
what I
there is.
actually rolled. See, it added a +3, and I have a +1. I don't know what the hell it's doing with initiative.
Yeah, mine it -1 to me again.
So,
I've
yeah,
not.
you got a -1 there, Brian.
No, it says -1, but when you hover over, or it says in 1,
Oop,
when you
I'm
hover
looking at
over the
wrong one.
actual roll, it added 3.
Yeah.
I thought to myself, like, of all the things we could maybe roll as a random encounter, I think I'll put the Kraken in there just for fun, but I'll make it really, really low odds of getting a Kraken. And then, of
Well,
course, the first thing you guys run into is a freaking Kraken. So I still need initiative.
I'm working on it. Hold
Okay.
on. It takes me a
And
second.
you have 2 initiatives that I need still.
That's why it was taking me a second.
Would Rollin have any history or knowledge of krakens?
Yes, as a seafaring person, you would know that Krakens are incredibly dangerous. They're incredibly strong, and for basically your purposes, your invocation should be to try to run from it or try to convince it to disengage from the ship through either means like like Tallulah's doing, or just trying to deal enough damage to get away from it. You are not trying to kill this thing from your perspective.
Hey guys, we're trying to kill this thing.
It'll destroy you. Anyway. All right.
Hey guys,
So
I know this is a bad time. I have to step away for just 1 second.
alrighty, no problem. Actually, you know what? We're about halfway, so why don't we go ahead and call it 10? Call it 10-minute break here, and we'll face the Kraken once we return. How about that?
Can we release it though?
Only if you
Well, you didn't catch it. The Kraken caught one of your ships. So...
you can only release it if you're Liam.
Yeah. So I mean, you guys could certainly attempt to just sail away from it and just leave that third ship hanging. It's...
Poor bastards. Well, we'll give Tallulah a chance, and then we'll say, we tried, and let him keep going.
That sounds like my character's thought process exactly. Like, no, fuck that thing! Run away!
Run away! All right. Well, we will be back in just a couple moments.
Beeba.
For Kraken.
We haven't died yet.
We are all
We
back,
killed it.
and we have indeed not died yet. That is true. All right, so the see the Kraken come up. It's attacking that ship out in the distance. You can kind of actually see I've got the great icon over there for the Kraken, and you can see you can see the tentacles are bubbling up around the ship, and it's starting to slap at people. And you guys pull up alongside it at the request of somebody shouting from the deck. The captain has pulled into within about 30 feet of it. And the first one we'll go ahead and say Tallulah, you have casted Water Walk, and you're still on the deck of the ship, but you're about ready to jump over. But then we'll go ahead and go into the actual turn order. And the first one to act is the cat, who I assume also has Water Walking. It's how many people can it affect? Up to
10.
6?
10.
Up to 10. Yeah, so all of you have Water Walking. And you assume that you can run about even with the ship, and you should be able to jump from the side of the ship. You should be able to jump down, but you might have you gather from how far down it is. You would have to make like a dexterity save, or you might fall when you hit the surface. But the ocean is not moving in a way that would make it too hard to move on it with the Water Walking. It's just a matter of landing with that fall distance. But you can probably keep up with the ship as it's going, because it's slowed down to make up for the fact that this other ship has been basically stopped as the Kraken is holding on to it.
And how far away are we?
You guys are beside it, about 30 feet away.
Okay.
And you can see tentacles coming up the side of the ship, and you can see on the other side they're starting to come over and slap some of the crew. There's a crew on that ship that's also trying to defend against the Kraken, but you can tell that they are panicking a little bit. Maybe a lot of it.
Sure, as is justified.
So the Panther's just gonna run. It has 50 feet movement, and run over to the other ship, and then when it gets there, it's just gonna wait.
All right, so the Panther jumps down off the side. Are you having it jump down into the water, or are you just running to the edge of the ship, like your ship?
Running to the edge of the ship, jumping onto the water, and then running to the other ship and start climbing up, I should say.
All right, so the Panther is definitely lithe enough that it would not have to make a dexterity saving throw. It just jumps down, and it can actually make it up to it where one of the tentacles are if it wants to make an attack.
It's gonna wait.
Okay,
We're gonna see if animal friendship works.
that's a good idea. All right, so the Kraken, on its first turn, it is basically at this point it's just trying to destroy and disable the ship, is what it looks like. It's bringing its tentacles down on important parts of the ship to try and make it immobile and try and maybe sink it. So it is going to make 3 attacks with its tentacles, try and deal some damage.
Do we know how intelligent these things are? Holy shit. So, good to know it has a plus 17 to hit.
That's a lot!
And the natural one automatically misses the ship, but yes.
Strahd was just a warm-up.
Alright, so the ship takes damage. That is 40. So yeah, you can see already there are some big hits. Some of the main masts are starting to get damaged. There's a hole in one side of the ship, and you guys imagine you guys don't have a whole lot of time to do something about this. But it will be Tala's turn.
And Tallulah is way down. God bless.
Well, Tallulah is on the side of the ship. It looks like she was about to maybe jump down as you started to pull in next to it. and she had shouted, "I'm going to try and see if I can make friends with it." So you're all kind of, you all know that if you attack the Kraken, it's going to make it a little bit more difficult. But yeah, still up to you what you want to do.
I'm just trying to think if there is any. Do I have a? I'm looking to see if I have anything that can help her that I can cast on her to make it better for her. No. Yeah, I don't have anything like whatchamacallit, where you assist the
Guidance.
guidance. Thank you.
Right.
That's a cleric thing.
Yep. So I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to be like, all right, we'll see how this works out.
Okay. Amane.
Amane's going to move to the end of the... son of a bitch, I got luck. I got to double check something. She's going to hold her action to attack with the pistols and for if animal friendship fails.
Okay.
If it succeeds, she'll do nothing.
All right. Pause.
What? I have a 16.
Oh, was this not in perfect order?
No.
Okay.
No, it's
let's
in N order.
see. Yeah, for some reason it was not accepting your 16. Okay.
It's the flaws in this initiative order that make it perfect.
Aha. Okay. Rollin.
Rollins gonna be like turning to the captain and saying, "Get ready to run! If this doesn't work, we gotta fucking go!"
Okay. Anything else?
It's
Actually,
gonna...
you know what? I'm gonna have you make an intimidation check.
Intimidation?
Uh-huh.
On the captain?
On the captain.
I don't know. It might be an annoying check. I'm trying to annoy him into leaving.
So yeah, with a 14, he says, "Don't you think I know that?" But yeah, he's pulling up to try and
Okay,
help, but
then,
he's about ready
sir.
to keep on sailing. Like he's not even sure he wants to be this close, but you guys convinced him to do that. But yeah, they're all starting to be a little bit concerned too as they see these large rents starting to be made into the ship.
Does Oz actually say the annoying bit?
Well, I don't know. Oz, what would you like to do?
Oz is going to grab a piece of hardtack and push the ship.
Okay.
I really want to see if they pull off the making a Kraken into my BFF thing.
Yeah, and Tallulah. The turn we've all been waiting for.
Tallulah?
Tallulah.
Oh, is that me?
Yeah, that is you. As it turns out.
How close can I get to the?
So from the side of the ship, you can look down, and you're within about 30 feet of the side of the other ship, and the Kraken is just kind of down at the bottom. So I would say you're 30 feet away from it, as you've
I
requested.
cast Animal Friendship.
All right.
Oh, I just realized it says if
Intelligence
If
of
it's
4 or
intel-
higher.
You know what? This is a very Tallulah plan, and that's actually because I was just dumb.
Oh my god.
Now you guys
So-
will actually have to tell me this, because I don't know this, but is a monstrosity considered a beast?
I don't believe so. I believe it's considered a monstrosity.
It's not.
Right. So yeah, this unfortunately it's a great plan, but
Tallulah
Like the
runs over to the
Kraken.
side, says, "Mr. Squid, we mean you no harm," and then it realizes it doesn't work, and then just turns back and is like, "Guys, we have to get out of here."
all right. So you guys were holding to see how animal friendship went, and I believe you have seen.
Yeah.
So any held actions may now go ahead.
Roland's like, go, go, go.
Are we going?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well,
All
you guys.
Becker is gonna run back to the ship then.
Yeah, and you see in classic cat form, just lithely leaps from the bottom. Doesn't need any help. Just makes it back to the side. Very well trained animal. Knows how water walking works. Knows all of that good stuff, and just leaps right up onto the ship. And you guys run. You see the Kraken just destroy the ship. It caves in from the middle and just slowly starts being enveloped into this giant thing's mouth. You do see the other ship, the flagship, trying to shoot at it, but it's not dealing enough damage to deter it. And so you do see Sylvanas up top, shooting arrows down at it, but she's destroying some of the tentacles. She's not destroying the monster. And so they do eventually, seeing you guys sail away, she decides to go ahead and make that call as well. They try and see if they can find anybody as people leap off the sides of the ship and try and get away. They are able to scoop up a couple of people on their way out, but just complete destruction to that ship. It really never had a chance.
So Roland's gonna turn to the captain and go, "See, they have cannons. Why don't we have cannons?"
Oh no, they're not shooting cannons. It's just their people. Well, actually, no, you're right. Actually, the flagship is a battleship, so it does have cannons. It is a warship, but the other two are just sailing ships.
Mm.
So yeah. All right. Well, that encounter's gonzo. So, for the sake of brevity, you guys try to get back to your long rest, and you are able to complete a long rest, having only had the one major interruption. So, any spell slots or anything you guys have spent, you can get back. And so, we'll enter the third leg of our seafaring journey. Does anyone have any techniques they would like to try to employ to make it go more efficiently?
You keep saying that like I should know something about myself. That would help.
Well, that would be true if he said, Andrew, are you doing anything to move this along?
Yeah, and I'm...
I mean, you
I'll
could...
cast Gust of Wind.
Hey.
That'll do it.
Well played. And I look at Tallulah, she casts that, and I say, that was a good idea.
Yeah. So I'm going to have you roll a nature check to try and guide the winds the right way into the sails.
I don't do those.
To help. It's not going to be a terribly high DC, but
yeah, I don't do
10
those.
is exactly what you needed.
Tallulah doesn't do nature checks that good, unfortunately.
Yeah, so you are able to, blow the wind into the sails, and it definitely helps pick up the pace. And you notice on the other side, the Banshee's Whale has another Tauren druid who's there. It's pretty standard for them to have at least one druid on the ship, just in case something needs to be mended. Druids are very good at woodworking, working with that wood to be able to mend things. And she kind of looks like, oh, that's a good idea. And she kind of watches you and studies how you do it, and then she starts to emulate you.
Oh, what the?
And so both ships speed up, and you guys make it. You guys make pretty good headway again. So we'll do another round of watches for the night, and you guys figure you're over halfway there at this point. You guys are kind of looking at the map and gauging how far you have to go. You're making really good time, and you figure sooner rather than later you're going to end up seeing the shores of Northrend. But I will have you guys go ahead and make another round of perception checks for watch that night.
Sure.
All right, so for the So as you guys start the watches, you notice that there is a bit of a storm brewing as you start to go to sleep. And basically the storm just kind of goes through the night. Heavy rains. You start to get a little bit of a rocking motion in the boat, and it's actually a little bit nauseating. I'm going to have everybody make a Constitution saving throw.
Ooh, I don't do those.
As you try to get a long rest. Rollin, you are at advantage because you are used to this as a regular sailor.
Rollins gonna kind of grin towards everyone else, eyes like a bit wild, and go, "Oh, this is when things get fun."
I'll draw my pistol and aim it at Roland.
Roland will draw his pistol and aim it back.
As I'm throwing up over the side.
Yeah, so that's exactly what's going on for both Tala and Amane. You guys have the restless status, which means you take 1 point of exhaustion. You do not recover any hit dice or any points of exhaustion that you have for this long rest.
I'm calling Nanigans.
That's it. You guys, would get back any HP or anything, but you haven't actually taken any damage because you all ran away from that Kraken. So.
Seemingly wisely so.
Yeah.
I feel like that was a good choice.
Yeah. I'm just saying that's you guys have a lot of health because you did that. All right.
I think you need to restructure that to you have health because you did that.
All right. So So you guys figure this is the last leg of journey. Last leg of the journey. You're starting to get very close. So one more opportunity for you guys to make it go a little bit faster.
I will try to deceive the sails into thinking that there is more wind than there actually is.
I also, forgetting that I'm technically a ranger, so we have natural explorer. No difficult terrain, we can't get lost except by magical means.
Sure.
That probably means for a specific
For your terrain.
terrain.
No, because you don't, with the hunter, you don't select one.
Oh, it's because it's the World of Warcraft thing. It's a little different.
Yeah.
The World of Warcraft.
I just have it for, everything.
Which
All right,
kind
And
of
I
so-
also,
seems-
when I was reading that,
So in what way would you like to try to employ that into this challenge?
I'm gonna tell them where we going. That way. And point the direction since...
So you can do that if you want, but it will overlap with the navigating tools check that Rollin had made. I think the first or second time. So
That's the
you can
first
do
one I
that if
did.
you want, but the DC will be higher than it was before.
Well, if there's any crazy waves, difficult terrain doesn't slow our group's travel, so...
I think that's
the best
probably
got.
different.
That's the
for a
best I
boat.
got.
All right, so go ahead and go.
You could make a nature check to
Yeah,
see if
go
you
ahead
could
and make a
maybe
nature check.
get a better angle on the wind with the sails potentially.
That is unfortunately not high enough. So you try and point it out. You don't get lost, but you don't really do a good enough job of directing where to go. And you guys end up being hit in the storm by a lot of crosswind, and it kind of slows your momentum. And you figure the last day of this travel is probably going to take 2 days instead of 1. So for the first night, instead of having you guys roll perception checks, I'll just go ahead and roll to see what happens. So you guys are hit by another storm. So still storming outside, still hurting. You guys don't need any perception checks for that, but you guys will all have to make another Constitution saving throw.
Can we not?
All right, so this time, Tallulah, you are having a hard time falling
failed.
asleep. You just barely passed, actually.
No, because I'm disadvantaged because I have a point of exhaustion.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, this does kind of stack up pretty rough, doesn't it? All right, so you now have 2 of the restless status. So you, yikes, have now 2 points of exhaustion. And don't regain 1 or any hit dice. And Tallulah also gets 1 point of exhaustion. So So you guys continue sailing, but you do start to see, way out in the distance, you start to see the high peaks of Northrend. So you figure this is probably your last day and your last night of travel, and then you're going to be there. Sometime tomorrow you'll reach your destination. You start to, luckily, you start to, you sail out of the storm, and you start to sail around the eastern coastline. And you figure out that where you're going is Coldera. It's a small island that's just off the coast. It's kind of separated. It's a little island that's a little bit separate from the rest of Northrend. And I'll have everybody make a history check to see if they have any other knowledge they know of Coldera. Anybody with Arcana, like anybody with what's a proficiency in Arcana would get advantage.
I'll while we're sailing up to it, I'm assuming that the elf is in their bunks feeling like shit.
Well,
so I'm gonna
do get one good night of sleep, so you can take off one of those points of exhaustion each. So I think that puts Thomas at 0, and for you, Jeremy, I think that puts you at only 1.
Puts me at 0 too.
I'm still hiding in that bed, not moving.
Yeah.
I'm gonna poke my head in there and say, "Oh, we're almost to land, waif. You'll be all right."
Yeah. Okay, so Rollin and Tallulah, you both, you've heard stories about this place, especially you, Rollin. You've been all over the place. You're very aware. Coldera is the site of the Nexus, which is where the main hub of the Blue Dragonflight is. Their Dragonflight is in charge of the usage of magic throughout the world. That's what their original charge was, to oversee the usage of magic. And so you get a sense that whatever this artifact that you're going to be searching for is, it probably is something magical in nature. And all this, not having gotten the information from the people that are actually giving the orders. They've been keeping it very hush hush, but your naturally curious nature, it kind of leads you in that direction. That you get the idea that it's something magical.
Do I also get the idea that it might be kind of dangerous?
Well, the dragons are some of the most dangerous things in the world, and
Sure.
The Nexus is where they're all stationed. So, the Blue Dragonflight, they're not inherently aggressive, but they're very smart, very intelligent creatures, and they're very, very good with magic. They're basically the old world mages, where a lot of other people have learned how to use magic from the Blue Dragonflight, and from all the other Dragonflights have kind of learned magic from them. So, So yeah, definitely a certain level of danger there for sure. All right, so you guys are. So you guys do wake up the next morning, and you hear one of the crew yell over the side, "Land ho!" And you guys are incredibly relieved. You guys are seeing yourselves go up and around. You don't see any good place for a shore. One thing you notice about Coldera is that it's got this very, very tall wall that it goes all around the island, and any shoreline you see is very tiny. It couldn't fit more than a few of you. Most of it is just a couple 100 feet high wall that extends all the way down and then just goes underwater. And you would be in for a hell of a climb if you were going to try to land anywhere. So you reach the southwestern shore, and you kind of are sailing around it in a clockwise motion. Let's see. But eventually you do approach the northwestern shore, and you see it is a larger shore, and it has one steep path that does appear to lead up to the highest peaks in the middle of the island. And right about when you start to see this, you see the flagship kind of pull up next to you, and one of the flagship's messengers throws a line over to your ship and swings over. A little strong-looking, young male orc. He ties off the line and he approaches you, and he says, "Your vessel is to sail north to the northernmost shore. We'll weigh anchor south of this position. Find somewhere out of sight of this area to weigh the anchor, and camp discreetly outside of the path from that north end." So he points up to the path that leads up to the main part of the island. "We believe our quarry will be approaching from down the mountain on this path, and we attack here on this shore. And you attack from the north." He then asks if you guys have any questions.
What's our quarry?
It's a good question.
We're not quite sure what the transport is going to be, but we believe someone will be transporting the artifact. We are to attack anyone that comes down this path and search to see if they have the artifact.
Do we want to take him alive or kill him?
Their lives are are consequential. Best to just kill them.
Inconsequential. Okay.
Inconsequential, yes. Sorry. Anything else?
Rollins gonna look around to see if anyone else has questions.
Nope, no questions
Nope.
from me.
Sounds good.
I'm too busy throwing up.
No more questions. Get out of
Actually, I do
All
have
right.
one, but I really need to.
Did I mention?
All right, so he swings back over, and you see the flagship kind of turn around. They're going to go weigh anchor a little bit south. Your captain, having heard his orders, sails to the northernmost coast.
We can't hear Thomas.
Uh-oh.
Thomas, no.
Thomas, why?
Thomas, come back.
Thomas, come back.
That's what he gets for failing the.
Hello?
There
Hello.
you go.
Oh.
Oh,
Did you
I
have
was-
a question for the
Did
the
you have
guy?
a question?
oh man, I was making all kinds of little jokes no one was laughing at. Now I know why. God damn.
You gotta speak up. You're a big Tauren, but you're just a little tiny personality. You gotta.
No, it's because my mic wasn't. All right, it's fine.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fine. Fixed now.
Come on, let me RP it. It's fine.
I made so many good jokes.
All
I'm
right.
sure. I believe you.
So yeah.
I was like, man, this is a tough crowd tonight.
So the orc is about to swing over and then looks over at Tallulah and is like, "Wait a minute, I'm sorry. Did you say something?"
Nope, it's fine.
All right, swings across back as they
You have a
turn
female
around.
voice.
And so finally, you guys reach around. You guys get around to the northern coast far enough that you're confident that your ship would definitely not be seen. And the crew is going to stay to stay on the ship, kind of not really so much guard it as just try to work on things and prepare to sail back.
Probably some minor damage in the storm.
Yeah, it's little stuff to do. And you guys, meanwhile, board the small rowboat, and it is tight with all 6 of you in there, including the cat. But it does fit you, and you guys do row to the northern shore, and you arrive on the northern shore of Coldera.
While we're waiting, Rollins gonna practice juggling oranges.
So you do have them also in a second rowboat, kind of bringing you out supplies. They're not quite sure how long it's going to be, so you guys do camp out, and you guys can try to place where you would like to be. Try and hide. This is a view from the top side, so the shoreline is the lowest most area, and then this is kind of like the hills that come up. The dark brown patches are pathways, and the lighter brown are like
we got kind of like a
slopes.
ridge right here,
Yeah.
and that kind of looks over this down here.
Yeah, down here there's also a little crevice that you could easily climb from like here to here without impeding your movement.
So
there's a little bit of a ridge here to hide, and then up here.
does this seem like something that would take us like 10 minutes or an hour or longer?
This is to scale. So each of these squares are about 5 feet. This is a pretty... All of the shorelines on Caldera are small. This one is just a little bit bigger, and there's a little bit more foot room. So you assume that anyone that was trying to dock or come or go would be coming from this shoreline.
Okay.
So that's why the Horde has assumed that the artifact's going to be here.
Okay, Tallulah is going to take out a rope and start tying it in a whole bunch of loops, and then pass it out to everybody and say, "All right, everybody take a loop so you don't get lost," and then cast Fog Cloud on the party.
Rollins gonna look like at the rope like seriously at first, and then when she casts Fog Cloud, she's gonna be like, good idea.
Okay, so the fog cloud, are you guys able to see through it?
Nope.
All right.
But we're gonna be really stealthy.
Okay. So once you guys get settled, you attempt to stay alert, keeping an eye out for any movement, any approach from up the hill. You end up waiting for an hour, 2 hours.
I think we might have moved up to here too, just to kind of have a better.
Well, go ahead and place your tokens where you'd like to.
Technically, one of us could be out of the fog cloud, and the rest could all hang out in the fog if someone wants to be extra super sneaky.
Anyone in particular?
Anybody who might be a rogue.
Anyone?
I will hang out outside of the fog cloud, even though I do not.
What is this thing you've drawn here?
I don't know. I didn't know I could do that.
So I'm sorry I missed that. What are we doing right here?
Well, I'm trying to hide. And it looks like Goose is probably doing like a hero pose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna plant myself in the middle while all the sneaky people move around and just.
Well, you guys are in the fog, and so it's a little bit hard. It's a little bit hard to see.
I'm trying to be not in the fog, looking over this ridge.
Okay.
There's a ridge right here where Goose is standing. Like he's standing like on top of a ridge in full view of everything.
Fine. There you go.
Yeah, we'll say you're hiding just a little off to the side. No one is going to see you from the southern approach here. But anyway, you get to about the 3rd hour mark, and we'll go ahead and have everyone make a perception check. Everyone is at disadvantage except for Rollin and the Panther. The Panther gets actually advantage because of the speed. 16. That's pretty good.
Oh, 21.
Yeah, the hunter's
For the
on
Panther.
it. Oh, for the Panther, yeah. So the Panther sniffs, and you hear it just make a low growl. Something's coming. And that kind of triggers everyone to look over. And Rollin, even with the somehow you missed it. You started to doze a little bit in the 3rd hour. It's kind of boring, just kind of.
I'm undead. I don't sleep. I have no excuses. I was practicing my juggling too hard.
So you see a small group of humans and high elves coming from down the hill. The passage is kind of wide at first. There are 5 of them in total, and as the pathway narrows, you see them split into 2 groups as they come down the hill. A party of 3 starts to head towards the southwest, and a party of 2 high elves start to head towards the northwest, towards you guys. As they get closer, you see they are 2 male high elves coming towards the northern pass, and there's one thing that you guys notice about them that's a little bit strange. They are they're just dressed in just basic robes. There's no winter clothes. There's no, any kind of protection from the cold. They don't really seem cold.
They
Do
are
they
not
look
just
al-
property for this climate.
Do they look alive?
Yes, very much alive.
How
In
far?
fact, let me go ahead and. Well, actually, yeah, go ahead. They're approaching from this, and it looks like they're going to come down and try and get on the shoreline. But
how far are they away from the other party?
pretty far. You no longer see the party of 3. They've turned a corner and started to go towards the south.
Are we talking like 100 yards farther?
Yeah, at least the size of this map. Yeah, I mean, yeah, at least 100 feet away.
Okay.
You don't see them anymore as they come down the hill and they finally hit, like near the bottom of this path down here. And then all of a sudden, you hear battling from the south. It would appear as though the group from the south, being led by Sylvanas, have started the assault. And you see these 2 turn around in that direction, kind of startled. And you see their shift kind of change a little bit. And you see kind of this scaly spikes start to protrude from their head. Like, it's not natural, almost like they were surprised. And the magic that's kind of forming them into this form, it doesn't seem right. You start to see these very similar looking dragons. You can tell now these are definitely dragons that have like a humanoid guise being formed, and you see 2 of them at the bottom of this hill. So what would you like to do?
They're dragons. Do
Oh,
we want to
oh gosh.
talk to them?
Do we do that? Do we talk to dragons?
In World of Warcraft, dragons are not like
Dragons?
they are in D&D, kinda.
Yeah, you know that dragons are very sentient beings. There are proto-drakes that are very feral, but these are like thousands of years ago were evolved from proto-drakes, and dragons are some of the most intelligent beings in the world. And for some reason, their damn tokens will not load onto this damn map.
And
There we go.
most dragons in World of Warcraft are kind of neutral or good. There's some bad ones, but the Horde also isn't evil necessarily. They're just opposing to the Alliance. So
you see them turn, and they first start to run down to the shoreline. It looks like they're about ready to turn the corner and make a beeline down the shoreline to try and help their friends.
would we have any idea how we would fare in a fight against these things?
You know that it varies. It varies pretty heavily based on how old the dragons are, and it kind of determines what their magical capabilities are. What you do know is that you have your commands. You were told very explicitly to attack anything that came over here.
Yeah. Did that order come from Sylvanas? Does Roland know?
You would assume that the messenger that swung over was delivering her words.
Okay. I failed to get that clarification.
That's my bad.
Well, no, my character failed to get that clarification.
Oh, I got you.
So that's my bad. It's like, well, we're supposed to fight him. Do we want to try to make him surrender instead?
Sounds like a reasonable plan.
Roland's gonna pop up and say, "Hey, you fuckers down there! We got an
Language!
entire..." What?
Language.
And at this, suddenly you see them both turn around, very surprised.
And it kind of takes like Rollin off her stride. And she's like, I'm sorry, I got distracted.
And
You should surrender because we have like an entire force up here.
We'll go ahead
And
and we'll go ahead and roll initiative.
If we have to, really, I'm trying to intimidate him.
It's just
whoops.
It's not working.
That
I mean,
might
you go
be
ahead
my
and
fault.
roll an initiative.
Oh, come on.
Oh well. Oh no, that's your initiative. Okay.
Oh,
No,
Okay, fine. Go ahead and make an intimidation check.
Yeah, 15. Not that great.
No.
Yeah, that's probably
Not
my
for
fault.
these. All right. Well, wait a minute. I didn't have the ticker up.
Oops.
it still took it.
Yeah,
Did good.
It did.
It was
did
good.
it?
Deleted them.
my bad. Well,
It's fine. I'll re-roll it and just had it
You
in.
guys can take your first rolls. That's fine. Though I don't know how exactly Andrew got a 21 with a -1 initiative.
It said that. I have it there. Look, see? -1.
But you have a -1. You rolled a 22 on a d20?
Now I've got a 24.
Nice.
It says he rolled a d20 plus a d0 plus a d0 no plus 0 d1 plus 0, and he rolled a 17 plus 4.
So basically, it's saying 25 is a nat 20 for you. So if you got a 21, that means you would have rolled 16. So your actual would be 15. I don't know why it's so
Well,
screwy.
you can look and see what it would die.
This is how his macro is set up. It's 1d20 plus 0d1 plus 4.
All right, well, we'll have to fix that before the next session, but for now,
We don't have
we'll go ahead and say it was 21. Why not? Just for the funsie.
Well, I think it would just be a 20 because he rolled a 20 on the d20.
He rolled a 17.
Where?
He rolled a 1d20
Oh, yeah,
plus
yeah,
0d1
I totally
First
forgot
one,
plus
about
4.
that. I got it. Too.
So you rolled a 17 and then you'd apply the modifier, which is a -1, so that'd be a 16.
I have to do one thing real quick to fix a mistake I had made in the setup. There we go. Alright, so the second one... We do have separate initiatives. There we go. Did I not do that right? I had... Okay, so the first one was 7 and the second one was 6. So there we go.
Well, he rolled a 3.
And-
Do they have +3?
They have +2.
Oh, okay. So it should actually be a 6 and a 5.
Okay.
Not that it actually matters at all.
Right, that's true. Okay. See, it's so weird how it's doing this. I didn't even put them in the right order.
Yeah, roll 20s.
Yeah,
Got
something screwy right now. But either way, all right. So you see these two dragons. They are definitely caught off guard, but they're not necessarily surprised to see you guys up there. They seem to have noticed. They seem to have been moving in a formation when they could.
And
yeah.
they noticed when I screamed at them.
Well, they were a little distracted by the fighting down south, but you can see they're about, give or take, about 50 yards away from you down at the bottom of this peak. And the first one to act is the panther.
Wait, I'm gone off the order now.
No, what happened?
I'll fix it, don't worry.
Yeah, so that is a pathway you can run direct down. So yeah, your panther can definitely get there.
That's a bad idea, though.
Only if you value your panther's life.
Yeah, I know.
Real hunters let their pets die while they run. I've seen it.
Right? Right?
That's so true. And it's just someone who's played the game. So very true. Yes.
Okay. We're gonna try it. Why not? So it gets a claw attack. Wrong character sheet, sorry.
So it does have to hit with it first. So their AC. Yeah, so it sees this big panther running at it. As it swipes its claws up, it looks like it's about to slice right at it, and suddenly you see it raise its hand, and a shield of arcane energy protects them from the claws.
It's a dicketry.
Is that flavor, or did he cast a shield spell?
It's shield, yeah.
Okay.
Both. It is both flavor and he cast a shield spell.
Yeah. So yeah, this one is shielded.
Okay, that's it.
All right. So then we move on to Tala. Pretty far away, but it's your turn.
I can move 30.
Mm-hmm. And if you want, you can use your action to dash to move another 30.
Yeah,
it
you
just
could
means
double
you
move.
You wouldn't be able to attack that turn, but you could take a bonus action at that point. And you can get there.
But what's that going to do for me if I get there and my bonus action is at best casting one of my auras.
Looks like the squares have disappeared once again. They were here for a while.
No, I still see him.
Now they're gone.
All right, so I could dash and get to all the way to there.
Yeah, you can get all the way there.
I'll do it. I'm gonna soak up. I'll just get there, and when I get there, yeah, I'm gonna slam my shield and sword together, and just be very, very menacing and aggressive. Like I've run up to them, and I'm right in their face.
All right. Amane.
Nah, it's Tallulah or Tallulah or.
Oh, okay, yeah, Tallulah.
All right. I'm gonna go here. And then I'm gonna cast Flaming Sphere right here.
Great balls of fire.
At 3rd level.
Alrighty, you'll have to remind me what Flaming Sphere does.
Oh, of course. I will post it in the chat for you.
Ah.
Okay, so it's for whenever they end their turn within 5 feet. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
As a bonus action, though, I can ram the sphere into a creature.
Aha.
So I will then use my bonus action to ram the sphere into. Whoops, didn't mean to do that.
Okay, so they have to make the dex save.
Correct.
Okay.
The DC 13 or take 12 points of fire damage.
No. Alright, so, having done this damage to the dragon, one of the dragon twins, you guys are assuming these guys are just dragons and humanoid guys at this point because of the scales, but I'm going to have you make a perception check.
All of us?
I would say Tala sees this right up close, but doesn't notice. But you do notice. It seems like it doesn't do quite as much damage as you thought it might do. However,
Some bitch.
However, you look over at the other dragon, and you see an identical scar of fire appear in the same place.
Some bitch.
All right,
Weird.
So that was, you said it was 12 damage?
Yep.
Okay.
That's it for me.
All right. So then we get to Amane. Jeremy, you there?
Yep. Sorry.
That's okay. Everybody's still getting used to their new names, I know.
I'm gonna move to here because I don't want to get too far. So this one's dead, right?
That's a ball of fire.
It's a great ball of fire.
So then I'm gonna shoot it.
Yeah, no, they're still looking pretty healthy. The spear did a little bit of damage, but it doesn't look too concerned.
Right. And let me double check this. Do they have any whatchamacallit, any weapons on them or anything like that?
No weapons. They're just both wearing kind of blue robes. There's no armor. You did see this one, the bottom one here, cast shield, which is what allowed it to dodge your panther's claws. But other than that, no.
And there was one last thing I gotta double check. Have they acted yet?
Did we not get you in the initiative order either?
I was looking and I thought I rolled it, but I literally just noticed. I'm like, it's not up there.
Was it 16 or was it something else?
I never rolled it. I rolled
okay.
a perception, but I never rolled initiative. I thought I had, but
Oops.
apparently I'm terrible.
Well, we'll get you
They
in
haven't
there.
acted, right?
No, they have not acted yet.
Excellent. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my full attack action at that guy.
The one who cast shield?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
You'll understand why in just a moment. First round of combat, I get 4 attacks, and since they have not, acted this turn, I get advantage on my attacks.
Yeah.
The 4th one will be my bonus predator shot, which makes a difference for damage.
It's kind of like Gloomstalker. Ooh, you crit him too.
Uh-huh. Too bad that wasn't.
All right, so 3 of those hits. You all see a very interesting thing happen as soon as the shots ring out, and after the first one does hit. So go ahead and roll damage for the first one first. You see it gets shot, and it looks up with this surprised and worried look as you hear more shots ring out. The second one bounces off the shield, but as the third one comes in, you see its eyes start to glow blue, and you look over, and the other dragon's eyes also glow blue, and it uses another reaction to raise its hands up and surround itself in a shroud of ice, and it is now encased in an ice block.
So does the critical not hit?
It does hit, so go ahead and roll the damage.
Okay. Does the 4th one as well, or no?
Yes, both of them do hit.
Okay. There's that one. There's that one.
That's
and then
19.
the 4th one.
Oh no,
Does
only the 4th one didn't hit at all. 16 doesn't hit. So
But he gets an extra D8 or something like that on his final shot of damage.
So 30 damage, and these shots hit the block of ice and nearly shatter it. Like there's a big block of ice, but it absorbed all of the damage you did, and it's still the ice block around it is still holding.
You need
Did
to
you
add
include
that
that 7?
Yes, I did. So 37 damage to it. The ice block is hanging on by a thread, but there is a block of ice surrounding this one still. Oz, your turn. Or did you have any other movement or anything else you wanted to do?
No, that's it.
Okay.
So what is this giant red dot again?
That's a fireball.
Yeah, fire
Well, no.
flame spear,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
fire sphere. Oh yeah. If you get within, you would know this because you've fought with Tallulah before. If you end your turn within 5 feet of it, it's gonna deal some fire damage to you.
All right, there's my turn.
Okay, so you ran. You have 40 feet of movement, right?
Oh, I thought it was 30. In that case,
Yeah, we upped it because of your level 5. I thought it should come in the warrior package, but it didn't, so I just decided to add it.
okay. So then that would take me to here with the dash.
Okay,
And in that case, I'll bonus action rage since I'm close up.
alrighty. So you can add those 3 to your rage pool, and your rage has bled off. If you don't continue battling, your rage pool goes down.
Okay.
But now you have 3, and you can use all your rage abilities. Rollin.
Let's see. I'm within minimum range. So I'm going to shoot at that guy. Does a 22 hit?
22 does hit. This is the top or the bottom one?
The top one.
Yeah, absolutely hits.
So that is 24 damage. And now I'm going to shoot again. And I'm guessing a 9 misses.
A 9 does indeed miss.
So
Alright. So what you
I will
guys,
also
so what you
move-
you notice the same thing that they do. It doesn't appear to do as much damage as you expected, but you see an identical gunshot wound appear on the other dragon, even while encased in the ice.
that's my turn.
Alrighty. Now it is the dragon twins' turn.
Now they double breath weapon us and we all die.
Yeah, that's a good question on what they're going to do. The first one is going to use a bonus action to use Ice Barrier. So you see them manifest this protective layer of like frost, almost as if it's a little bit of extra armor. And here, I'll just go ahead and post it. And so that's their bonus action. And then as action, they will go ahead and cast a spell. They see you all coming down from this ramp. So they're going to go ahead and put... the first one's going to go ahead and put a blizzard over the area. So let's see.
That's not cool.
Actually, it's very cool.
Cold.
That's
even.
cold-blooded, man.
Very cold, in fact. So it's within a 20-foot radius. So yeah, it's gonna pretty much just get everybody. We're gonna just put it around the whole slope.
I should have stayed where I was.
So everybody gonna have to make a dexterity saving throw. And their DC is pretty high. It's 16. So Oz succeeds.
Shockingly.
And let's see, it is 3d6 cold damage.
If only I had evasion. Not yet.
Alright, so half as much for Oz, and then half as much for Amane. So you guys both take 5. Everyone
Nope.
else...
I failed.
Oh, the cat.
Exhaustion.
Oh, you're right. Okay, yeah, so Oz takes 5, and you get yourself a rage point. And then everybody else takes 10.
Damn, good God.
That could have been worse.
And then...
Definitely could have been worse.
Alright, so then the other dragon does the same thing with the ice barrier. Use that bonus action to get
So
themselves...
is he out of his ice block now?
He does. He wills himself to melt the last bit of health that's protecting him from that ice, and comes out so he can act. And uses the ice barrier, and we'll go ahead and seeing that the blizzard is down and the other one can go ahead and continue. You also notice there is a storm above the area. You get the sense that if that dragon wanted to, they can continue to use that spell and just continue raining ice down on that area. But the other one is going to use a similar spell. They're going to go for Ice Storm. So this is again in the same area. It's going to hit everybody. So it is another dex saving throw for everyone. This one's a little more damage. It's 4d6 and 2d8.
I think I made my save.
And holy crap, that damage rolled super low. So they are going to use one of their meta magics to do Empowered Spell. And they're going to re-roll some damage on that. 2d6 and... Oh no, those were supposed to be d8s. I put that in the spell wrong. Okay, so 2d8s, 2d6 instead. Alright, so that is 15, 20, and 22. So 22 damage for anyone that failed the dex save. 16 is the DC. And then half as much for the past.
And my Panther's down.
Alrighty.
Panther, no.
So what's the rule on instant death if it's...
It
More
would have.
It would have to be double their health.
Okay. Their current health or their max health?
Their max health. Well,
Okay.
it would have to eat. So the remaining HP after it takes it to 0 would have to equal their maximum health.
Yeah,
Okay.
you have to be negative your max health.
Yeah.
So if my health is 42, for me to be insta dead, I would have to have negative 42 health.
And it was 22 then?
For the failed save, yes.
And that was awfully close.
Awfully. All right. Well, speaking of your panther, death save for the panther.
Ruh-roh.
Oop!
And that is one failure. All right, and Tala. What would you like? And they both they wanted to move, but they forgot to move. So they took 2d6 fire damage. If you'd like to roll those to Lula.
Five.
Alrighty. And
That'd be for
let's see.
both of them.
Yeah, for both of them.
It's okay. Jeremy's character hasn't had his panther too long. It's still just named Panther.
It's actually not.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's a joke that Jay would get, and I don't think anyone else here's played World of Warcraft. So.
Right. All right, Tala, what would you like to do?
These guys are proving to be somewhat tough.
They seem to be durable.
Yeah, so screw it. I'm gonna go ahead and cast my Templar's Verdict on the one right in front of me.
Okay.
Bonus action.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to attack with my longsword.
That misses.
That's
22 misses?
Oh, right, the advantage. 22 hits. Okay.
I'm gonna do the same thing again. 13 probably misses.
Yes, 13 misses. It actually it appears to you land the hit, but then it bounces off of a bit of a shimmering shield that you start to see that they do have that just kind of coats around their body. You guys imagine they have mage armor cast on themselves for this trip. Oh, but they're ice barrier. So the bludgeoning damage is the weapon. Your weapon isn't magical, right?
No, it's just a longsword.
Okay, so that will do half as much. So it's only 4 damage. Okay.
Well, great. Then I think that'll be my turn.
Okay, Tallulah.
Alrighty. I'm gonna slam the fireball onto this guy.
Okay. So he's got to make a dex save. That's a no.
Cool.
How about no?
And let me read this real quick. And it's at 3rd level, so 8.
Alrighty.
And then I will call lightning down onto these boyos from behind them.
So are they both concentration checks, the spear and the call lightning?
So the sphere is concentration, but I can move it as a bonus action. It's not a separate spell casting.
Right. Is the call lightning concentration?
No, it is not.
Oh, cool. Nice.
All right, is it? No, it is concentration. You're right.
Okay. So you can do that, but it would drop your spear.
You're super right. So I think instead we will do... You know what? No, we're going to do it.
Yeah, you got your use out of the spear for this turn. Time to bring down the lightning. Alright, so pair of dex saves. Man, they are just not feeling the dex saves. So they each take 18, looks like?
Correct.
Alrighty. So, you see them both make an identical reaction as they see the spear hits them, and it's a little bit worrisome, but as soon as the lightning gets called down, you see them both make the identical reaction to Ice Block. And the fire, it seems like the Ice Block is vulnerable to the fire, but it's not quite enough to take it down. But it does hit each Ice Block separately and almost melts them both, but it doesn't seem like any of the damage got through to the actual casters.
Well, it would be lightning damage, wouldn't it?
Oh, you're right. It's lightning damage. Okay, never mind then. Just does the regular 18 damage to the Ice Block. You guys are definitely using up their spells on those reactions. Anything else? Movements, or you got your action, bonus action?
Well, I use my bonus action.
Yeah, I meant you've used them. So, and this is gone. Do you move in or stay in put?
I will stay put, and that's it for
Alright.
me.
Come on, eh?
There's a whole lot of pink stuff going on.
There is. He's trying to figure out exactly where he can move, and how far, or maybe he's just bored. I don't know.
When
I'm gonna run
Elf
up here.
shoots a guy with a gun in the eye, that's a man.
Come on, eh?
I have a new theme song.
She just dances along down the slope, just kind of singing to herself.
Legitimately, that's what
And then
she's
pulls
doing.
out the pistols and boom!
And is gonna look at the one that downed my panther and be like, the fuck are you, and fire.
Okay. Alright, so we'll do those individually. The first one, the 16 hits. Go ahead and roll damage. Okay, so that chips away at that ice block. Roll the second one. Actually, you can just roll both. Those will both hit at that point. And
Ignore the 3. Wait.
well, the 3 is from the crit, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you see that shatter their ice block, and a little bit of the damage does get through to the caster. And those are magical weapons, so it doesn't apply their ice barrier. So it does seem to deal the correct amount of remaining damage.
I will blow it a kiss and then end my turn.
It looks back up at you with this cold stare. It says, "Fine, you can be next." Oz.
We'll move there.
The le flank.
Big
And
old
then I'll
flank coming in.
attack the one on the right. And I will spend a rage point for sweeping strike to have the strike follow through on one additional target for half damage. He has to succeed on a saving throw. DC 8, 9, 10, 11, 15, or be knocked prone.
Okay, yeah,
And-
both of them do actually for the dex
Okay.
save for the sweeping strike, because you're
So-
so basically you bring your mod down rather than striking right at them. You're striking down at their legs, and it's a matter of whether or not they can jump fast enough to not be clobbered in the legs and fall over. And
So
as usual, the dex saves are rough, but the first one is still an ice block, so you hit it. And then it bounces to the second one and knocks the second one over prone. But the first one is still in the ice block. They're not prone.
So it's 14 damage on the first one and 7 on the second. And then second attack.
Which one's prone?
I'm
assume
going
this
to put up, the bottom one. I'm going to put
Because
up.
I attack this one primarily.
We'll do, this is the prone symbol. Sure, why not?
And then I will attack the same target again. 17.
Yes, 17 will hit.
Okay, I do have overpower now, and I will use another rage point. General rage. No, was that it? That was not it. Nope. All right. Well, maybe I'm not using one. We'll see.
Which one did you want to use?
Well, I misread one of them.
Okay.
So now I will. On the one, I will use one on for Raging Blow to re-roll the one on the damage for one of the 1d6s.
All right, yeah, so 17 hits.
So
and
it
how
would
much
be
damage?
2, 12, 11, plus 6, 17 points of damage.
All right, and is your weapon magical?
Nope. It's a regular old-fashioned maul.
Okay, so 17. So you see 13 points would go through, and that's halved. So that's going to be 6 damage to the actual caster. But yeah, you shatter their ice block, and then it does kind of start to go through to the caster, but it's a little bit slowed by that shimmering, icy barrier that they have around them, and it doesn't quite hit quite as hard as you'd like, but still seems damaged. These two are starting to look rough, and again, you guys notice they look identically the same amount of rough, which is very strange to you. Rollin.
I'm going to move to right here. And do I get flanking for being right there? Or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll rule it that way for you guys, but just like how our other two DMs do it, I will rule it for them as well if it comes up. That kind of flanking maneuver would work to flank you guys. Where it's a little bit off center, but they're still harried from both sides, so it counts.
Okay.
It's
I
just
don't
like,
know.
for instance, if this dragon was here and this dragon was attacking you, I would count that as flanking.
Right. Okay. I will do a pistol attack.
Okay. That'll hit.
For 16.
Is your pistol magical? This is a regular pistol, right?
It is a regular pistol.
Okay, so 8.
And then I will short sword attack. Does a 16 hit?
Yes, it does.
For 5.
And that will be reduced to 2. All right, so you see these dragons are starting to panic a little bit. and they're kind of looking around. You see this top one is going to go ahead and take a bonus action to cast Blink, and will teleport 20 feet. They're going to try. It seems like they're looking back to where their where their other people are, and so they're going to blink to right here, which unfortunately does not evoke any attacks of opportunities for you guys. They'll get kind of unsurrounded. And then you see him kind of turn around, and he's got this kind of crazed look in his eye, and he looks over and he says, "Rulagosa, we need to leave. We can't fall here." And you see his eyes start to light up as he casts the spell. But you look over, and the other one, who's on the ground, you see is Rulagosa. Her eyes don't light up, which is a pattern that you guys are starting to see. And and so you assume that he's pulling some kind of magic usage from elsewhere. And he looks over at Tala, who seems like the most armored, the most difficult to hit, and he is going to cast Power Word Kill.
Fuck.
And as soon as you see this spell goes out, Tala, you just suddenly you see nothing but darkness, and you hear one word kind of resonate in your head, and you kind of see him utter it, but you don't hear it with your ears. You hear it like in your mind. You hear him say, "Shatter," and then suddenly you know no more. You are immediately killed with less than 100 HP.
Jesus.
So then the dragon will go ahead and he's going to run as fast as he can, and he makes it almost to the edge of the thing, and he's telling Rulagosa to come with. And so for her turn, she will do the same. She's going to stand up, and she looks over and she's like, "You know that wasn't for us." And she also casts Misty Step and runs and gets just a little bit further. And she'll turn around and she's going to cast... she's actually the one who was maintaining the blizzard. So she's going to bring down the blizzard one more time at you guys. So let's see. So you guys will have to make another dex saving throw.
I would. That's not on me, right? I'm out of that.
It was originally cast over here. Yeah, I was able to reach everyone. So yeah, everyone would make a dex save. You guys are still close enough to have the range for it.
Okay.
All right, so it's 3d6. So 7 cold damage. To anyone that failed, but half as much, 3, to anybody that passed. All right, and that's their turn. So now another death save for the kitty. We'll spare the death save for the cat from the blizzard. That's that's not fun.
Well, I mean, it would have taken the damage, right?
Not really. Like the ice shards are kind of falling. The interesting thing about Blizzard is they're able to kind of control where the ice shards fall. So they're kind of trying to aim them mostly at you guys. So, but yeah, it passes. So that's one pass for the cat. And Tallulah.
Oh gosh. I will run over to Zakiti. Is Blizzard difficult terrain? Actually,
No, I don't think the blizzard makes it difficult terrain.
okay.
It was the one that cast earlier did, but it was only till the end of their turn, so difficult terrain's gone.
I see. Okay.
The
I
ice storm or
will-
whatever it was.
I will give a healing word to Zakiti.
Alrighty, so the cat is back up with 5 health.
And then I will give them the old zappy zap call lightning again, because I can do
Alrighty.
that as an action without
11 damage. And they have to make the dex save again?
Mhm.
Correct.
Oh, one of them actually made one.
Finally! Alright, so one of them... So they take 11 and then 5. So 16. And these guys are like, they're barely still alive. They are hurting really bad.
Fine by me.
I'm hurting really bad. I'm dead.
You're no, you're not hurting at all. Actually, you feel nothing. Amane.
I'm gonna fire at them.
Okay. Fire away. All right. Two of those will hit. All right, 17 damage. And let's see. Yeah, that is enough to do it. How would you like to do this?
I was just attacking one of them. That one, sure.
Okay, so as you go ahead and describe how you'd like to knock that one out then.
He wasn't ready for this.
Yeah, I fired.
Okay,
And
fine. So as you're coming down the hill, you go ahead and take a shot, and it's a little bit odd angled, so they don't really see it coming. They turn around, and it's a shot just straight to the forehead. And oddly enough, as you see this one fall, and kind of just the life leaves their eyes, you see this one's eyes get kind of wide as they turn around, and the similar wound forms on their forehead, and they also just fall dead. Both of them fall together. So as you guys defeat the dragon twins, you take a second to breathe. You look around for any other threats, but there are none. And then you all turn back, and it kind of dawns on you. Tala's lifeless body is just kind of sitting there, crumpled to the ground, and your heart just kind of drops into your stomach as you notice in more detail the paler skin, the complete lack of motion or rise and fall of her chest. And you're all kind of in shock. And until you see coming around the corner from the south bank, you hear footfalls, and you turn and notice that the Dark Lady, Sylvanas Windrunner, and all of her other troops are behind her. You guys also notice that she's taken pretty heavy damage, while pretty much everyone else in her party seems untouched. She turns and looks over to the dragon twins laying there lifeless on the ground, and she says, well done. I see that you've handled the runts of the litter. Her voice is both smooth and musical, but also has a cold, reverberating, otherworldly tone to it. She then approaches you and gets closer, and she looks down at your fallen comrade with an odd, inquisitive look as she asks, "Curious, what happened to this one?"
One of the dragon things did that before we killed it.
And Rollin will have been down on knees, kind of head bowed, because Rollin very much reveres Sylvanas.
Tallulah trying to get everyone to look away. She's like, "Don't look, don't look!" At the fallen form of Tala, while kind of crying and sobbing in her own right at the loss of her friend.
Right. Well, Sylvanas kind of comes up closer and looks down, and she says, well, that explains much. Didn't see any wounds on this one. But the other 3 of this band of dragons, they knew they were outnumbered and outmatched. So they focused their assault upon me, no doubt thinking that killing the commander would shake the will of her forces. She kind of looks back at the rest of the forces and, kind of has a grin as if to say, like that would happen. But just before the last of them fell, the leader among the party attempted to cast a spell. uttering the word shatter. But the spell failed for some reason. So it would seem that your warrior of the light has taken an arrow that was meant for me. She then looks over your party, seeming to contemplate something before she bends down and picks up Tala's shield, kind of looks it over. She says, I can bring her back, but not as you knew her, and at great cost to me personally. But I would have had to pay the price anyway if your companion had not paid it first. So I am willing. She turns and she shouts out, come forth, Kira. And you see this. You see this pretty amazing sight that none of you have seen before. As over her shoulder, a wondrous figure apparates behind her. Let me actually grab the handout for her. You see, she almost acts like a shining beacon of light on this frigid, murky shore. She has the appearance of a female warrior with large wings, and her entire body is slightly transparent. Sylvanas looks over and says, this one's work is not finished yet, Kira. You must take her place in the abyss. And the Valkyr kind of bows her head and says, as you wish, my queen. And as you see her float towards the body, and suddenly she lets out a brilliant beam of light that extends from her hands, and it lifts Tala up to her hooves. The spell continues. The light kind of turns from a warm yellow to more of like a sickly green color. And you see Kira straining against the power as the spell abruptly stops. And with a large flash of light, it blinds you all for a few seconds. As you uncover your eyes and kind of turn back, the Valkyr is gone. But Tala stands before you. She's alive, once again. But also sort of not. Tala, you find yourself standing, and you open your eyes, and everything feels colder. It feels less vibrant and less alive than it did before. You can sense no light within you at all, and instead just a festering dark core of necrotic magic flowing through you. The thought of it is just revolting, but your body doesn't seem to mind. You still live and breathe and feel hunger like a normal Tauren, but you feel different now. Your skin is still that paler cold that everybody had seen when you first fell, and your fur is almost prickly quality, like it's been wetted and then perpetually frozen. And your eyes glow a soft blue hue as you look around. And Sylvanas approaches you, and she asks you, what is the name of this young warrior of the light, who has fallen and now risen anew?
Tala.
Just Tala, then.
Tala, Truth Shield.
Ah. She looks down at the shield and says, I think that name no longer suits you. She looks over and she just hucks, like full-on frisbee throws your shield into the water. She then scans over your party and turns to the rest of the troops, slowly scanning as she raises her voice with a shout. You all bear witness today to a historic moment. And with a flourish, she raises her hand over her head, kind of moving it slowly from left to right. You see this dark, shadowy cloud engulf her hand, and then it vanishes, revealing a large sword. Ere now, fallen warriors of the light have been brought back here in the frozen lands of Northrend, but always to serve the Lich King. Today, the first death knight of the Banshee Queen has risen, and she turns and places this large, curvy sword in your hand. You all recognize it, because you've seen Death Knights before, but you all recognize it as a rune blade. Take up the sword, and forever be known as Tala Soulblade, champion of the Horde. And everyone takes up the chants for the Horde. And yeah, that is where I think we will end tonight's session.
Sweet.
All right.
Huzzah.
That's pretty awesome. You caught me off guard with the Death Knight turn there. I know you had mentioned to me earlier that Andrew was thinking about Death Knight, and then he was like a paladin. I was like, oh, Andrew went back to being a paladin. No, he's the Death Knight. That's awesome.
All right. So you all level up to level 6.
Yay!
And Tala, you get a new character sheet altogether. So I am going to throw away your old one.
Okay.
Discard it.
Get that shit out of here.
And we'll give you. Oh man, it totally turned it into Tala Soul. Oh, you changed it. That's why.
Yeah.
Aha. It wasn't me. Good. I like not making mistakes. Arcade now.
Said every DM ever.
Not making mistakes is my favorite.
And there you go. So you'll notice that all your spells have changed. Sorry to make you kind of get used to one way and then have to get used to the other way. But yeah, all of the spells you'll find are now more necrotic and darker.
Okay.
There are no holy spells in your repertoire, but you can still use those spells, and they do pretty much the same thing for all of them. It changes the flavor of the spells, not
Cool.
really the. And then yeah, the Banshee Soul, you get the legacy weapon, the first major magic item you guys have found. And I'll try and work in at least one of these for everybody throughout the campaign, but yeah, that one's pretty special.
Well, yeah, it becomes a +4 at level 17 that we won't get to.
No,
Hey, you don't know that.
I'm hoping you
We
guys
could do a 1 year later time skip. You don't know.
That's true.
That's true.
Totally true. I love this setting, so I wouldn't mind at all doing a second one. But yeah, that's our first episode.
Cool, man. Well, thank you very much. That was fun.
How did your first time DMing feel?
Good. That was a lot of fun for me. As long as you guys had
Awesome.
fun.
It was terrible. I'm never playing again.
All right. That's
You
fine.
ruined D&D for me. I will never play another game of D&D as long as I live, and it's all your fault, Jay.
Well, what I want to know is what you guys thought of this mechanic,
Which
Touchmate's Bond.
it kind of made me think of hags,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah.
not exactly the same.
But similar.
Yeah, kind of a shared health pool is a pretty common theme in a lot of World of Warcraft boss encounters. But so yeah, basically the other 3 dragons focused on Sylvanas trying to kill her, and then the leader went to cast Power Word Kill, and that spell wasn't there because one of the other guys had used Clutchmate's Bond to steal his 1 spell slot of 9th level for the day. To try and at least kill one of you so that they could maybe escape.
And it didn't work.
Well,
Idiot.
it sort of worked.
What were they thinking?
Yes, they could have.
Absolute.
They could have
booms.
killed the Banshee Queen, but then again, she would have just used one of her Valkyr. She's got all those green mushrooms and the just waiting in
That's
the
true.
wings.
I don't know anything about the lore, so that sentence just confused me.
So yeah, I won't go too deep into it, but basically, she's got a limited number of Valkyr that can
She does
revive her.
shrooms.
There's a
Hey.
limited number of those big Valkyr that can bring her back to life, and she just gave one up for Tala because she would have been dead anyway. So
Kind of a life for a life type thing.
yeah. All right. Well, we'll pick up on the shores of Caldera next time.
So
Cool.
is Andrew's character now undead?
It is considered both Tauren and undead for the purposes of any spells that affect either of those races. Yeah.
So he doesn't have to sleep anymore like me.
He doesn't have to, but because he was resurrected so quickly, your body still functions. Like you're still breathing, because that's what you're used to doing. If you were to test it, you could not breathe and you'd be fine.
But it's habit.
Yeah, it's flavor. Like some undead,
That darn habit of breathing.
some undead don't have jaws, so they can't chew. But like Sylvanas could eat food and chew and digest because she's she's a fully formed undead. She had special enchantments to her body to preserve it and restore it to a functional. Not all undead are so lucky though, unfortunately.
It's true.
A lot of
When
the
you
Forsaken
make
are
one,
literally just bones.
when you make an undead character in the game, you can make one that has like no bottom jaw and their tongues just kind of hanging.
Yeah. Fun stuff.
Hopefully next time Roll20 will cooperate a bit better.
It wasn't too bad, at least.
Yeah, I mean, it was all functional. It just didn't look as clean as it normally is.
Wasn't pretty.
Right.
And Thomas, I like your character. She's hilarious.
As usual.
Like, oh my god, I hope everyone's okay.
I'm just really worried that those people that were fighting earlier weren't properly dressed for the cold, and Jay specified that. And that's going to really wear down on Tallulah.
Well, they were though. They are dragons. They're not. They're immune to cold.
Well, you never know.
But you
always should bring a
didn't know that.
You always have to bring a jacket just in case.
What if their car broke down?
Oh god.
You won't freeze to death on the way into the store, but if your car breaks down, you could freeze to death.
Alrighty, well, BRB. Alright, guys, we're going to close out the stream. Thank you all for watching. See you guys next week, next Tuesday, with our second episode of The Fall of Theramore. See where these kooky WoW characters end up next. See you guys later. Have a good night.